Brewers have made the quick trip south on I-94 to battle the Chicago White Sox.
Paul Konerko, Adam Dunn, and the Chicago White Sox look to regain some lost ground in the AL Central standings. National League home run leader Ryan Braun and the rest of the Brew Crew have ideas of their own. It's baseball night in America as the Milwaukee Brewers take on the Chicago White Sox from U.S. Cellular Field in Chicago on a beautiful night for baseball. And welcome, everyone, to the Windy City. Dick Stockton, and, of course, these were intense rivals. There's no question about it, but now it's interleague play, and this is only the third time that they have met in the regular season since 2001. Welcoming in Bill Schroeder. And, Bill, a week ago, the White Sox were leading in the division, but now they're trailing, not by much, but they're behind.
Well, generally they're happy with their overall play, particularly their defense and their bullpen. And overall their offense has been pretty good, but lately they only won 3 of their last 11. And offense has been the culprit, like it is in just about every Major League Baseball team right now. They have Adam Dunn, they have Konerko, they have Przinsky. All those guys have been very good. It's the supporting cast. They need to get it going and help those guys out. And for the Brewers, a team that's very fortunate to be only 5.5 games back with all the injuries that they've had. But the good news is for Milwaukee, they're starting to get healthy.
And we have the home run leaders on display tonight. Ryan Braun, who leads the National League in home runs. And Adam Dunn, who's tied for the American League lead in home runs. Will we see bashing tonight? We'll find out soon on Baseball Night of America. And all human as we're set to go. And tonight's starting lineup for the Brewers is brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Marichka Aoki leading off in left field. Niger Morgan will be in right. Ryan Braun, the DH, hitting third. Aramis Ramirez will be at third base. Corey Hart will be the first baseman. Ricky Weeks is at second. George Kataris behind the plate. Cody Ransom batting eighth at shortstop, and Carlos Gomez batting ninth in center field. And this opening pitch brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. And waiting in the batter's box is Aoki for the Brewers. And facing Dylan Axelrod, making his second start of the year. Aoki hitting .269 on the season. And the first pitch is fouled off for a strike.
Well, Axelrod's second stint with the White Sox, his second start this year. He's taken the rotation spot of Philip Humber, who threw a perfect game earlier this year, now on the disabled list. So the starting rotation for the White Sox a bit banged up right now.
Pitch is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. What do we expect from Axelrod here?
Well, he's got great control. He's had good control in the minor leagues. He works very quickly like a lot of these White Sox do. And it would be good for this guy to start out well to get some confidence going today.
You mentioned pitchers on the disabled list. So John Danks and Philip Humber. Danks is on the DL with a left shoulder strain. So 2 of the 5 starters who began the season on the disabled list for the White Sox. That pitch breaking inside. 91 miles an hour there. There is Humber, who had that perfect game and had struggled since then, winning only 2 of his last 10 starts, as Aoki with a good at bat here, and the count remains 2-2.
Well, obviously that big high pitch count with that perfect game, and some would say he had some nagging injuries throughout the first part of the season and ultimately had to go on the disabled list. Sometimes perfect games, no hitters early in the season, not the best thing in the world.
Took something off that pitch, did Dylan Axelrod, and the count is full, 3-2. 26-year-old right-hander from Santa Barbara, California. And a fly ball out of play, and a chance to prove himself with those 2 starters on the DL. And he was saying he looks ahead. You know, if I start, maybe I could start at Yankee Stadium next week, and that would be a dream come true.
And that's for everybody, as a matter of fact. But when he's on, he has a good sinker, gets a lot of ground ball outs.
Pop up to the middle of the infield, and Alexi Ramirez behind the bag makes the catch, and there's 1 gone for the Brewers. Let's take a look at the White Sox defensively. In the outfield, Viciedo, Lillibridge, and Rios. It'll be Hudson at third, Ramirez, Beckham is at second, and Konerko at first. A.J. Brzezinski behind the plate. And it's good to have the veteran catching Axelrod tonight.
Yeah, perhaps we'll be able to calm him down a little bit. The White Sox have played good, solid defense all year.
Second in the league there as Nyjer Morgan steps in. And Morgan takes ball 1, hitting .242 with 2 homers and 3 runs batted in. Came in the game as a pinch runner, and it paid off for the Brewers in their 1-0 10-inning victory last night.
About as quick a game as you're going to see. Both Chris Sale and Zach Greinke outstanding last night. Very quick game and very good baseball.
Showing bunt and taking a called strike, and Hudson was charging from third, and the count is 2-1. Greinke allowing 3 singles and a season's high 9 shutout innings. That's Chris Sale, who allowed 4 hits in a classic pitcher's duel, Bill.
Like the old days. I mean, guys going up there swinging early because, you know, the repertoire of off-speed pitches for both Sale and Greinke last night. Guys wanted to attack early. The thing was moving along pretty good last night.
3 balls and 2 strikes to Morgan. So Axelrod goes to the full count on the first 2 hitters he faces. Ryan Braun, the DH, is on deck for the Brewers. And there's a line drive to left field. Coming in and making the catch is Dayan Viciedo, as the ball held up enough to retire Morgan for the second out. 4 keys to the game. Ron Renicky for the Brewers. Let's take a look at this matchup.
Yeah, the Brewers, they'd like to have a lead in the 8th inning with K-Rod, Francisco Rodriguez, and John Axford holding down the end of the bullpen. That's always been a good news story for the Brewers. And for the White Sox, they got to set the table. The guys around Dunn, Konerko, and Pierzynski, they need to get on base.
Here's Ryan Braun, takes ball 1, and talking before the game with Robin Ventura, he mentioned the bottom third of the order. He'd like to see more production out of them. There's a strike to Braun, 1-1. Braun hitting .321, 7th in hitting in the league, and of course leading the parade with 20 home runs and third with 51 RBIs.
Yeah, there aren't too many better all-around players in all of baseball than Ryan Braun.
And a one-hopper handled well by Hudson, and he throws out Braun. Orlando Hudson has been struggling at third base, but he looked sharp there. A 1-2-3 inning for Axelrod and the White Sox coming up in the first. The first inning of tonight's starting lineup for the Sox, brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you got to live Moss. Brent Lillibridge leading off. Gordon Beckham hitting second. Adam Dunn the DH. Paul Konerko followed by Alex Rios. A.J. Przinsky hitting sixth. Dion Viciedo batting seventh. Alexei Ramirez hitting eighth. And Orlando Hudson batting ninth, facing the veteran Randy Wolf, 35-year-old left-hander who has not won since April the 30th.
Yeah, but he's pitched pretty well in a lot of his starts to get wins. He's been victimized by the blown save in 5 of his last 8, so he's left with the lead 5 times. You see his numbers overall, 2 and 5. In the scouting report, he's got to establish inside. You can't let hitters lean out over the plate. He's got to keep that big curveball down, and the big inning has been a problem for him, especially early in the game.
Brent Lillibridge leading off, and the first pitch hit deep to center field. Carlos Gomez is back and makes a great catch as he bounces off the wall. Gomez getting partially turned around on the warning track against the wall. A terrific catch to rob Lillibridge of extra bases to start the White Sox first.
Yeah, Carlos Gomez, one of the better center fielders that you see. He never takes his eye off the baseball and able to haul it in just in front of the wall. Lillibridge gave that one a ride, a high fastball, but Gomez able to bail him out. A nice catch by Carlos Gomez that started out tonight.
Well, you talked about the White Sox, outstanding defense, second in the league, and the Brewers making the big play here. Gordon Beckham with 1 out in the first inning, and the fastball on the outside corner. 1-1 to Beckham, hitting .239, has 9 homers and 31 runs driven in. Chop to third, fair ball. Aramis Ramirez, and what a defense on the first 2 plays as Corey Hart scooped it out, kept his foot on the bag after Aramis Ramirez made a great play at third.
Yeah, we were talking about the White Sox and how well they've done this year defensively. How about Aramis Ramirez and then Corey Hart, who has spent his entire big league career in right field, and due to injuries, he's been forced to move to first. And that's one heck of a pick. So the defense helping out Randy Wolf here in the first inning.
Are they ever? And 2 glittering plays and 2 down. And here is Adam Dunn, the DH. 23 home runs, tied with Jose Bautista for the major league lead. He has 53 runs batted in, batting only .222. 2 down in the first inning. That pitch in on the hands. 1-1 to Dunn.
Yeah, this is the part of the White Sox lineup that you really have to concern yourself with. You've got Dunn, Konerko, Rios, and Pierzynski. Pretty good middle of an order.
And on deck is Paul Konerko. Dunn, of course, with 23 homers. He only had 11 last year. Miserable season last year for Adam Dunn, but a remarkable comeback in 2012, and a line drive handled by Ricky Weeks. So Ricky Weeks on the shift, playing in short right field, in perfect position to make the play. You won't get 3 outs. Better defensively than what we just saw. Budweiser is sponsored by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Here at U.S. Cellular Field in Chicago, Aramis Ramirez leading off, and he is climbing the ladder from April to this month. And this is tonight's Mazda better moment. Aramis Ramirez's batting average getting better, as he saw, for every month. So Ramirez was the better one tonight, brought to you by Mazda. Better, stronger, smarter. Swings and misses on the breaking ball, and the count 1-1.
Yeah, just about every year for Aramis Ramirez. He's been one of the better run producers in the National League, particularly in the Central. Always been off to a slow start. This is about the time when he starts heating up. His days with the Cubs.
Spent 9 years with the Cubs. And his leadoff double in the 10th inning sparked the Brewers in their 1-0 win. His second double of the game. And the pitch now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ramirez, who had a home run call reversed in his favor Monday. And a hopper off of Orlando Hudson. Looked like a standing 8 count there for Hudson on a sharp ball. 1 hopper, and Ramirez is safe.
Boy, look out. Some rockets being hit by both clubs so far in the first couple innings. Orlando Hudson, normally a middle infielder, not used to playing over at third base, and he takes one right off the chest. And that'll be a base hit for Ramirez. Boy, look out, the hot corner.
So the leadoff man aboard for the Brewers, and that'll bring up Corey Hart, who is 6th with 15 home runs in the National League. We have had some shots and a high pop foul. Drifting out of play. And the count, strike one to Corey Hart, who already has 4 seasons with 20 or more home runs.
Been an all-star a couple of times, and when he gets hot, he can carry a ball club. I mean, hits a lot of home runs. The Brewers in general hit a lot of home runs, and when they hit home runs, they win a lot. When they don't, their record has not been very good, although they won last night without hitting a home run.
Second in the league in homers, one behind the Colorado Rockies with that favorable air and a call strike. So Dylan Axelrod gets ahead of Hart, 2 strikes. Axelrod, who was called up on Tuesday from AAA Charlotte to replace Zach Stewart on the White Sox staff. And call strike 3. And down goes Hart for the first out. Right now, let's go to Matt Vasgersian for a DirecTV game break.
Dick, 1989 World Series rematch. Oakland's won 8 of their last 10. They're off to a good start today. Josh Reddick's team leading 17th of the season has the Swingin' A's on top early. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Back to Dick and Bill.
All right, Matt, thank you very much. So the Bay Area guys are going. The Midwestern battle. We have the Subway Series in New York, and of course LA with the Angels and Dodgers.
Well, the Dodgers have come back to the pack. The Giants only 3 games back. Looking for some offense.
So is Ricky Weeks, and looks like he possibly could be turning it around. Still hitting 186 with 5 homers and 20 runs batted in. Ramirez on at first with 1 out here in the Brewers' second. That's down low, and it's 1-1 to Weeks, who is 3rd in the National League with 42 walks, but he's tied with Hart for the most strikeouts in the league. They each have 82.
Yeah, we see that with Adam Dunn as well, but it's kind of an odd combination, but you see it quite often.
Hart now has 83 after being called out, and the chopper is foul, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, you would think that a guy that has that good of an eye at the plate isn't going to be swinging at bad pitches, but I guess that's not the case.
Brewers have won 5 out of 7, and they got an opportunity to move to within 3 games under 500. They haven't been there since May the 12th. There you look at Ricky Weeks. Not the best company to be in.
You never want to be under that Mendoza line as Ricky Weeks strikes out, but he's been much better lately, Ricky Weeks, last week.
So they're 2 down, back-to-back called 3rd strikes.
And both of them on sinking fastballs. Axelrod has a good comeback sinker off the outside corner, catching the edge. Pitch that he got Corey Hart with.
So 2 down, and George Kataris getting an opportunity behind the plate, and usually does, with Randy Wolf on the mound, hitting .235. 3 homers, 10 runs batted in. Throw over to first base. Aramis Ramirez, who was safe on an infield hit when he hit a scorcher off of Hudson. There's Kataris, who's hit all 3 of his home runs in the first 5 games of the season. Has been quiet in the power department since then. And there's a strike on the corner. 0-1.
And that's the pitch right there that makes Axelrod a pretty good pick for a start tonight. I mean, he keeps the baseball down. He's got good sink. He gets a lot of ground ball outs. He'll throw a changeup and a slider, and he'll flip up a curveball. So the Brewers have 4 pitches to be aware of tonight.
Down low, and Przinsky making the stop there. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Axelrod, who last pitched a week ago Thursday on the 14th of June in the minor leagues, made his big league debut with the White Sox last September, made 3 starts, and his first and only major league win was a shutout against Toronto in 2 hits for 6 innings. Now it's 1-2 to Kataris.
That ball just drops off the table as it gets to home plate. Kataris thought he had a pretty good pitch to hit, and here it is, and where's it going? Watch this pitch drop as it gets to home plate.
One and two, and Axelrod looking to strike out the side after the leadoff single, and that pitch down low. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Oh, the Brewers and White Sox, Battle Royal history, right?
Back in the old days, yeah, no love lost between these two organizations back when the Brewers were in the American League. Hotly contested and a lot of emotions flowing around between these two teams.
Staying alive is Kotaras. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. You mentioned the Brewers 5.5 games behind with all of those injuries. Ron Roenicke keeping a stable ship in Milwaukee.
Yeah, even the guys that have not been on the disabled list are banged up. Ryan Braun was hurt for a while. Ramirez missed 4 games. Guys hobbling around, but he's been able to keep the Brewers close.
Another breaking ball fouled off. Cincinnati Reds victors tonight. So right now the Brewers are 6 behind. And looking at the American League, or I should say the interleague play involving an American League team, the Astros beat the Indians 8-1 tonight. So right now the White Sox 1 game behind in the division. That's the National League race. Line drive. Fair ball down the left field line. On his way to third is Ramirez. The ball getting away from Viciedo, and Ramirez is going to score. And Kotaras will stop at second base. And the Brewers take a 1-0 lead. Kotaras going the opposite way against Axelrod, and then problems for Viciedo in left field. And it's 1-0 Milwaukee.
Now, it's hit something down there in the corner, and it fooled Viciedo. There it is. He goes right by it. Had he got it right there, Ramirez, with that bad quad injury, hobbling around the bases, able to score. A bit of a defensive lapse for the White Sox, and the Brewers take an early lead.
And an error charge to Viciedo, so no run batted in for Kotaras, who's on at second base. And here's Cody Ransom, the number 8 hitter, hitting .205, 5 homers, 21 runs batted in. Brewers had to go 10 innings to win last night, getting a run in the second, and Ransom hits a fly ball to left field. Viciedo has a bead on it, and it looked like the wind chased that to left center field, makes the catch to retire the side. Brewers get a run. There were 2 hits, and the Brewers 1, White Sox 0. By Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Brewers leading 1-0. And a good view of the great skyline of one of the great cities of America. Right at the top of sports towns anywhere would be Chicago, and Paul Konerko leading off, leading the American League with a .348 average, 13 homers, 39 runs batted in. And Bill, you talked about, you got Dunn, Konerko, pretty tough 3 and 4 in the order.
And Paul Konerko may very well be the most underrated player in all of baseball when you consider what he has done throughout his career. He started with the Dodgers.
And a breaking ball, base hit to center field.
And just waits back nicely on a big looping curveball from Randy Wolf. Doesn't try and pull it. I mean, that's a good approach at the plate. You try and pull this pitch, and you're going to be a nice 6-3 put out. Randy Wolf, I think, throws that pitch at times at about 60 miles an hour. Watch the way Konerko waits back and just shoots it into center field.
So Konerko, leading the league in hitting, is aboard with a base hit. The first hit of the game for the White Sox after the Brewers made 3 sensational plays. You have to rank them, but they were all pretty sharp in the first inning as Alex Rios steps in. The right fielder hitting .288, 8 homers and 35 runs batted in. And a call strike. The White Sox, kind of an up and down tour this year. They were 17-21, then they won 13 out of 14 till June 1st, and they have lost 12 of 18 since then. Adding to Robin Ventura, I don't know if I saw any gray hairs when we talked to him before, but they'll be there sooner or later.
Yeah, well, he's been relatively pleased with the way that the team has played. I mean, defense has been pretty good. They're second in the American League. Their bullpen, although they're very young, they've been pretty good. You look at the runs per game, I mean, still pretty good, a little over 4, but not what it was before. They just have the tendency not to be able to put games together. Nice stretch. You know, defense might fail a little bit.
And a base hit to right field. And Rios is aboard. Back-to-back singles off of Randy Wolf to start the second inning. Konerko going to second base.
Now look at Rios doing the same thing Konerko did, taking a pitch, pulling the hands in and shooting it into right field. These guys can hit when they get it going, and nobody can slug any better.
Randy Wolf making his 3rd career start against the White Sox. They are one of 8 teams he has never beaten, all in the American League, and now has to look at A.J. Pierzynski, who comes in hitting .286, 12 homers, 41 runs batted in. Showing bunt. So first and second, nobody out. And the White Sox have the tying run at second. Go ahead run at first early on. So already a different complexion of last night's pitchers duel. And nothing we didn't expect. Shows bunt again. The pitch outside, 2-0.
It's going to be hard to repeat that pitching performance last night from both of them.
No question.
A throwback to the 70s.
Pierzynski with 12 home runs already. He had 8 last year. And his 41 runs batted in leads all the catchers. First and second, nobody out. 2-0 pitch going the other way. And it's out of play, foul. Talking about runners in scoring position in the league, Pierzynski is second and Paul Konerko third, and the one who is leading is the rookie Will Middlebrooks of the Red Sox at .419, which raises the question of what will happen with Kevin Youkilis, whether the Red Sox might trade him, and the White Sox could be a candidate. Beautiful bunt laid down, and the throw to first base is in time. Aramis Ramirez making the play, but the sacrifice by Pierzynski successful, and the runners move up. Konerko to third, Rios to second.
Yeah, he's going to get a sacrifice, but he was bunting for a base hit. And Ramirez playing back behind third base. Pierzynski figured if I roll it down there, I'm going to get a base hit. But watch, Ramirez able to barehanded and all in one motion able to get it to first. Actually, Ramirez was even with the bag on the grass. And he makes that play extremely well, does Aramis Ramirez. That's a tough play. But Pierzynski able to get the sacrifice and advance both runners.
So here's Diane Viciedo. Runners at second and third and 1 out, and a call strike to Viciedo. And an opportunity to put the White Sox in front here in the bottom of the second after the Brewers took the lead in the top of the inning. Breaking ball, and it's 1-1.
And this is what Robin Ventura was talking. He's got to get a little bit more consistency at the bottom of the order. It starts with the 7-hitter.
Swings and misses. 1-2. Viciedo hit .206 in April, then skyrocketed to .351 in May. 132 so far in June. There's Konerko at third, and Rios, the runner, at second with 1 out here in the White Sox second. Line drive, base hit to left field. Charging is Aoki, and they're going to hold Rios at third, but the White Sox tie the game on Viciedo's single. Konerko scores, and it's 1-1 as Rios goes to third, and Viciedo has his 31st run batted in.
Nice adjustment by Viciedo on the curveball. He looked bad on a couple of curveballs down in the dirt, and then he's expecting it, waits back, and goes down and gulps it out into left field. Not a bad pitch by Wolf, but a pretty good adjustment by the number 7 hitter for the White Sox. Well done.
So Randy Wolf giving up the tying run and hopes to shut down the White Sox before he gives up more. Alexi Ramirez fouls the first pitch off, hitting .232, has 1 homer and 3 runs batted in. He's 1 for 1 against Randy Wolf, but that 1 hit was a home run. So with 1 out, the runner at third, and the middle infielders are playing back. 1-1 now to Ramirez.
And there's the important pitch for Randy Wolf, that fastball in. Ron Renneke was talking about that before the game. He has to be able to throw that pitch for a strike. He hasn't done it yet.
Took something off that pitch, and a fair ball, and the throw to first base, not in time, and the throw by Ramirez got hard off the bag, and Rio scores, and the White Sox take a 2-1 lead. And it looked like Aramis Ramirez gave some thought of going home first, changed his mind, went to first, and it backfired.
It looks like he didn't have the angle. Watch Rios. I think if Ramirez throws the ball to home, he might hit him in the back and get nobody. Not a very good throw, but a good pick on a short hop by Corey Hart, but he puts his foot off the bag. That's a good jump off of third base. You can see the angle. Ramirez just didn't have an angle at home plate.
Exactly the way it was. And so the White Sox get 2 home, and Alexi Ramirez on at first base. Viciedo on at second. 2-1 the White Sox lead, and here's Orlando Hudson, and he takes a strike. Hudson struggling. Switch hitter, batting .160. Of course, a Gold Glove winner for 4 years at second, now having to adjust to play third base, and it hasn't been easy.
Well, he played some third base in the minor leagues. It's been a while. He got released by the Padres. The Padres were going with a youth movement in San Diego. He became available, and the White Sox picked him up. Hasn't been swinging the bat all that well, but he's been picking it at third base pretty good, making the adjustment.
0 for his last 16. There's Viciedo at second. Alexi Ramirez on at first base, and the pitch rides inside. Orlando Hudson may be struggling, but he is a riot, and we have the sounds of the game that we're going to get to during the course of this contest, and you're going to see an Orlando Hudson the way his teammates see him. 1-2, 1 out, 2 runners on, and the count is even. So the White Sox shut out 10 innings last night, getting 2 here in the second inning. And already more hits than they amassed in last night's series openers. Sharply hit to Weeks, to Ransom. They turn the 4-6-3 double play. And let's see, is he safe at first?
Safe at second.
Safe at second base. They changed the call, and Alexei Ramirez is ruled safe at second base, and Ron Renicky is out to argue with the second base umpire, Brian Knight.
Well, the Brewers had to shift on, and Cody Ransom had a long way to go. Ricky Weeks backhand flipped it over to him, and I think what the umpire is saying is that Ransom threw the baseball before he had his foot on the bag. He got rid of it too quickly to try and turn the double play. He did put his foot on the bag, but according to the second base umpire, Brian Knight, didn't have the ball in his hand when his foot hit the bag.
So it's 4-6-3, but not the double play that the Brewers wanted. And now runners are at second and third with 2 out. In the top of the order, Brent Lillibridge coming up.
Now check it out. Does he get rid of it too quickly? Actually, he missed the bag. That's the call. And normally the umpire is going to give you the in the vicinity type call. And watch Ransom. Not sure why he didn't step on the bag, but to the letter of the rules, it was a good call.
Well, the White Sox leading 2-1. There you see behind the bag, and the umpire was right there.
His eyes right on the foot, and he got it right.
1-0 to Lillibridge, who was robbed of extra bases with Carlos Gomez in the first inning, making a terrific catch and then banging up against the wall in a sparkling defensive inning for the Brewers. But the White Sox had forged in front 2-1 here in the bottom of the second. Vicieto's at third. Alexei Ramirez, the runner, at second. 2 out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lillibridge, a versatile performer, can play first, third, left field, and center field, and making his 3rd start in center field tonight. Remains 1-2. So we've had more fireworks offensive action tonight, Bill, in the 1 inning here, the second, than we did all last night in 10.
10 innings, yeah. What a difference a day makes.
Of course, you don't have Sale and Greinke on the mound either. That breaking ball is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Sometimes you're going to get the call, but you can see clearly by about 4 or 5 inches that Cody Ransom missed the bag, and Brian Knight right on it.
Mark Wegner behind the plate, and the rest of the umpiring group with Mike Winters, the crew chief, at third. And a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Brent Lillibridge. Gordon Beckham would be next for Chicago. Three-two curveball in for strike 3. Lillibridge called out on strikes, but the White Sox get 2 runs on 4 hits and take a 2-1 lead after 2. presented by Budweiser. White Sox lead the Brewers 2-1, and the Brewers batting in the third inning. And Carlos Gomez, who made a glittering play in center field in the first inning, fouls off the first pitch, and we are pleased to have Jake Peavy with us, joining us this half inning. And what a year he's having. Showing bunt is Gomez, and the count 1-1. Jake, a great start this year. You and Chris Sale really holding down the fort for the White Sox.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's been nice to be healthy here in Chicago. It's been a rough few years trying to get that way, but it's nice to finally contribute and do what I've all along know what I could have done, but health has been a bit of a struggle here for the past few years. But it's nice to be healthy, and I appreciate the kind words.
And there's the bunt, trying to beat it out, and terrific play made by Axelrod. He slid on his knees. Ball gets by him. It's a base hit, and look at the smile on his face as Gomez is retired for the first out.
Good athletic play, just getting to that baseball, getting down, and able to slide a little bit and flip it over to Konerko for the out. Now Gomez can fly. This ball gets by Axelrod. It's a base hit, but it didn't. Well done.
Who says pitchers ain't athletes?
That's right, Jake. You can make that play any day, right?
I'd like to think so, but I'm getting old now.
Yeah, talk about the health. I mean, you mentioned a little bit the 3 years, really battling a lot. It had to be tough on you, but how gratifying is it now that you're back healthy and throwing the baseball like you knew you could?
Well, you know, I can tell you this. I took the game for granted there for a lot of my career. Early, I was so healthy and blessed with health in San Diego. To come back over here, and a lot is expected of you. And this is a great city, great baseball fans, and to get hurt there at the beginning of 2010 and have that year kind of washed out, and then last year trying to get back from an injury nobody else had ever in the game. It was tough, but to kind of put that finally behind me, a rough 2 years, and to be as healthy as I am now and to be able to help, I feel very blessed, and I appreciate the kind words that were said.
Sale and Peavy, look at the record, 14-5. Leading the way for the starting pitchers. Aoki hit by a pitch on at first with one out. Nigel Morgan the batter, and he lined out to Viciedo in left field his first time, and he shows bunt.
Now, Jake, you've got 5 rookies on your pitching staff. Do you feel kind of obligated to be a mentor to these young guys? I mean, Robin Ventura counting on them, particularly down in the bullpen.
No doubt about it. We got some good young arms here, guys. I know a lot hadn't been made of and these guys hadn't got a lot of exposure, but we got some special arms in that bullpen. We got some guys like Dylan Axelrod, you know, who's worked his way and really paid his dues to get a start in the big leagues like tonight when you have a couple guys down. And these guys can pitch, and you know, like I said, not a lot of big names, but they compete. They keep us in games, and I think we got a few special ones down that bullpen that will be significant names for many years to come here on the South Side.
Jake, we were talking about the fact that you and Phillip Rivers, the quarterback of the Chargers, are close, and you text each other, and you seem to be cut from a different kind of cloth because you're kind of a guy who gets on the team a little bit. You have that coach's mentality, don't you, in the club?
I tell you what, me and Phillip have a lot in common. We do some things different, but you know, Phillip's a great team leader, and I try to do the same, and just try to inspire and keep the boys motivated. You know, I get to pitch once every 5th day, but it's fun being in the clubhouse and pushing guys and trying to get the best out of guys. And
there goes the runner, and safe at second base. Aoki with a stolen base, his 6th of the year. Pitch taken for a ball, and it's 2-0. And now the Brewers have the tying run in scoring position.
Hey, Jake, give us a report card on first-year manager Robin Ventura, what he's brought to the clubhouse for you guys.
I'll tell you what, I couldn't speak any more highly of Robin. I don't even have words to tell you what he's meant to this ball club. After what we've been through the past couple of years with all the expectations and him kind of coming in, it's been a breath of fresh air to everyone to watch the way Robin has taken over and took just really commanded respect, taken charge. Made it clear from the first day of spring training we're going to do things right. We're going to work hard. The guys that Kenny and himself put around him with Mark Parent, you know, an old school mentality guy, and Joe McEwing, just energy and a lot of positive, you know, thinking. It's been it's not to speak any bad of anything that happened here in the past, but it's been a very nice adjustment that we all made.
Beckham throws out Morgan, and Aoki goes to third, and there are 2 out here in the 3rd inning. We're talking with Jake Peavy, who's having a terrific year. 6-3 is his record, and has joined us here in the 3rd inning. And you know what? You're coming off a very successful raffle for your foundation. I know you're very proud about that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I got a buddy out in San Diego, Daryl Ackerfield, who's fallen on some tough times and battling pancreatic cancer, and wanted to do something. Every time I would speak to Daryl or we'd text, we'd talk about, keep fighting, hang in there, buddy. And I want to do something to let him know that I was trying to fight this awful disease with him. So we did a raffle and had some guys out to the ballpark, and I spent a few days with some guys. Terry Eichner I actually won it from Arlington Heights, and came out and I got to meet him and his wife Lynn and some of their buddies, and it was a great time, and we raised almost $55,000 to pancreatic research, and I feel very blessed, and I appreciate all the support around the country actually for it.
No balls and a strike to Ryan Braun, who bounced to third. Brewers have the runner at third in Aoki, who is the potential tying run with 2 out in the third. And Jake, we want to really thank you for joining us here. Continued success the rest of the season.
Guys, I appreciate you having me. Let's get Dylan a few more strikes and get out of this inning right here. Here's a big at bat for. This is what's fun about baseball. Watching a young kid who just got called up, been in AAA most of the year, face Ryan Braun with 2 outs. This is exciting for me.
This is what it's all about. Braun fouling off the outside pitch in the count 1-2.
Guys, thanks for having me. I wish you the best.
Same to you, Jake. Thank you, Jake Peavy.
Class act, huh?
Without question. He's got a lot of football in him, He's got a lot of that gridiron mentality.
Yeah.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Ryan Braun. In the air, chasing it is Konerko in foul territory. Beckham coming over, but it's out of play about 6 rows in the stands.
Axelrod right there. You see the look on his face. He knew he got away with a sinker that stayed up in the strike zone, and that's not where you want it. I mean, Ryan Braun can cover any part of home plate. About as good a hitter as there is in baseball. And Braun just a little bit behind it, just hoping that's going to go in the seats.
Ryan Braun now, who's dropped to 4th in the All-Star balloting in left field, seeking his 5th straight All-Star appearance. Good stop with a runner at third by Pierzynski, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dylan Axelrod. You got to say, he pitched in the College World Series in 2007. I know you did for the Clemson Tigers, but you didn't have the kind of exotic nickname as Cal State Irvine, the Anteaters.
Nope, I did not. Clemson Tigers.
Yeah, that'll do. And a shot up the middle. Axelrod ends up on the turf, and an RBI single by Ryan Braun brings home Aoki with the tying run, and we're all even at 2-2. So for Braun, his 52nd run batted into this season.
No doubt one of the best all-around hitters in the game. One of the best all-around players in the game. Ball down in the zone. And Braun doesn't try and pull it right back through the middle.
It's not what Jake Peavy was looking for.
No. But you're right. These are the matchups that guys like Axelrod are not going to soon forget.
And it excites a veteran like Jake Peavy. Shows you what the players feel in the dugout when you have that kind of a matchup. As Aramis Ramirez, who was safe on an infield hit, swings and misses for strike 1.
You look at the numbers for Ryan Braun this year. They're actually better than they were a year ago this time last year. So he's still getting better. That's the amazing thing about Ryan Braun.
And the pitch taken for a ball, 1-1. Of course, he may need some help to get into the All-Star game, and maybe his mother Diane, another Brewer, she works for Anheuser-Busch, and she has her friends voting on the internet. Got him in as the fan support. 3 different email addresses. There goes the runner, and Aramis Ramirez with a fly ball to left field. Viciedo makes the catch near the line to retire the side. Whatever it takes for Ryan Braun to get to the All-Star game, Mom is helping out. And our thanks once again to Jake Peavy. 2-2 the score. With that hit, he now has extended his streak to 27 games. The interleague hit streak passed Derek Jeter last night, 3rd overall, and now, more important to him, I think, with the team, 17-game hitting streak, the longest current string in the major leagues. Ryan Braun. And Randy Wolf's first pitch to Gordon Beckham is strike one. Beckham was robbed by Aramis Ramirez in his first time up. Fly ball down the right field line. Nyjer Morgan chasing it. It's a foul ball. Two-two the score, and the White Sox batting in the 3rd inning against Randy Wolf in his 13th big league season, all in the National League, and it all began with 8 years with the Phillies and then 2 stints with the Dodgers, Padres, and also the Astros. Line drive right field. Nyjer Morgan making the catch to retire Gordon Beckham. And right now, let's check in with Matt Vasgersian for a DirecTV game break.
Dick, what a finish in Philly after Jonathan Papelbon blew his first save as a Philly. Jim Thome delivers the all-time major league leading 13th career walk-off home run in his baseball life. Phillies beat the Rays. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Back to Dick and Bill.
All right, Matt, thank you very much. And, of course, Chicago fans fully aware of what Jim Thome has done for them for those many years.
He's still at it. I'll tell you, not a nicer guy in all of baseball. The Phillies could use him. The Phillies have been a big disappointment in the National League so far this year.
13th career walk-off home run, the all-time leader. Adam Dunn lined out to Ricky Weeks, who is playing in short right field, and the shift is on for Adam Dunn. There it is.
Now the Brewers shift more than any other team in all of baseball. I mean, they will put on a radical shift for just about everybody. Everybody does this kind of a shift for Adam Dunn.
You know, I think in the National League you're right, but you look at the Tampa Bay Rays in the American League, and they shift almost 4 or 5 times a game on hitters as Dunn goes down swinging for the 112th time, and there are 2 down.
Well, Randy Wolf, and he's trying to put that ball in the inside corner, but left it out over the plate. You can see the reaction of Adam Dunn. How did I miss that pitch?
Adam Dunn has struck out 112 times, 28 more than Kelly Johnson of Toronto. Now, I don't know what Johnson has done, but Dunn is ahead of the pack. Here's Paul Konerko. Strike one to Konerko, who singled and scored the first run for the White Sox.
Now you can stomach the strikeouts if you're Robin Ventura, as long as you get the run production, which he's been able to get so far this year.
Cody Ransom throws out Konerko, and a 1-2-3 inning for Randy Wolf. We've completed 3 and all even at 2 apiece. Tonight's game is sponsored by Michelin, a better way forward, and by Ted, from the creator of Family Guy, Mark Wahlberg, Mia Kunis, Seth MacFarlane. Ted in theaters Friday. Nighttime in Chicago, Corey Hart took a called third strike his first time up from Dylan Axelrod. That pitch going all the way back to the backstop, 1-0. It'll be Hart, Ricky Weeks, and George Kataris here in the fourth inning. 2-2 the score. Way out in front of that one. Axelrod 0-1 on the year, coming in with a 3.52 earned run average. Came into this game, Bill, pitching 7 2/3 innings, but giving up 3 home runs in that span.
That means he's getting his sinker up in the zone, making some mistakes with his slider. That was a mistake right there, but Corey Hart out in front of it. He had some good numbers down in the minor leagues, did Axelrod. 5-4, a 3.18 earned run average. There's that hanger that it looked like Corey Hart tried to pull.
Check swing. Tough pitch to lay off there.
He changes speeds on a lot of his pitches as well. We saw that from Chris Sale last night.
And it's out. And first base umpire Angel Campos signals out, and Corey Hart was on his way to first base, so he's called out on strikes and went around on the swing.
That could have gone either way, and Corey Hart, a strikeout victim, couldn't lay off that slider off the outside corner. Everything in that at bat was away from Corey Hart. That's the way that the White Sox are going to attack him tonight.
Well, he was so sure of that one. He was confidently trotting down to first base. Here's Ricky Weeks.
It is awfully difficult once you start that bat to hold up. I mean, you have to be awfully strong in the wrist. Not to say that he's not. It looked like he went. It was close.
Weeks took a called third strike, his first time up. That pitch up in his eyes. 1 ball and 1 strike. So with 2 strikeouts, Hart has now struck out 84 times and leads the National League in that department. A lot of check swings by the first 2 hitters here.
Which means that Axelrod has good stuff. Anytime you see a lot of check swings by hitters, they're not sure what's coming. Of course, the Brewers have never seen this young man. That could be part of it.
Out of play. Well, you were a catcher in your big league career. You're handling a guy like Axelrod. What do you say to him before the game, if anything?
Well, what you don't want him to do is overthrow, because that's not his game. He doesn't throw hard, 90, 91 with his fastball. You just got to get him to relax, but it's much easier said than done. I mean, you have to make sure he has a good, clean, early part of the game, and he had a 3-up, 3-down first. That's going to relax him.
Pounder to third, backing up is Hudson. Throws out Weeks for out number 2. Well, next Saturday on Baseball Night in America, the Tigers will be in Tampa to take on the Rays as both teams look to gain ground in their divisions. Or the Diamondbacks battle these Brewers in Milwaukee, or the Royals and Twins, Padres and Rockies, Mets and Dodgers, or Athletics and Rangers. What a menu next week. Baseball Night in America, presented by Budweiser, begins next Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific, only on Fox. Check local listings for the game and start time in your area. George Kataris, who doubled to the opposite field, 2 out here in the 4th inning in a superb at-bat, did not get an RBI as an error by Viciedo allowed Aramis Ramirez to come across and score an unearned run for the Brewers in the 2nd inning. Slowly hit. Could be a tough play, and the flip is made. Konerko gets it over to Dylan Axelrod, and his second 1-2-3 inning of the game. After 3.5, 2-2. facing Rios, Pierzynski, and Viciedo here in the 4th inning. Rios with a single to right field and goes that way again. A fly ball. Nyjer Morgan making the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 4th inning. Well, this MLB on Fox season, Fox Sports is proud to support Boys and Girls Club of America, a place where youth can reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. To learn more, please visit greatfutures.org/Fox Sports. 1 out to A.J. Pierzynski, and the youngsters munching on the concessions and enjoying the game as Pierzynski, who sacrificed his first time up in the 2nd inning when the White Sox took the 2-1 lead, only to see the Brewers come back and tie it in the 3rd. Fly ball to left field. Charging is Aoki. Drops in front for a base hit. So Pierzynski's aboard with 1 out. He was trying to bunt for a hit, as Bill Schroeder pointed out in his first at-bat, gets aboard with an opposite field hit.
And a good approach. Didn't hit it all that well, but he didn't try and pull it. Common theme in a lot of these hitters that have been so successful, just hitting the ball where it's pitched. Randy Wolf hung a curveball. Now Pierzynski able to get enough of it to dump it into left field.
And that brings up Dayan Viciedo. Knocked in his 31st run with a single, and there is a changeup that bounces in front of the plate for ball 1. So Robin Ventura telling us about the bottom 3rd of the order, and he's gotten Viciedo with an RBI single and Ramirez with a base hit,
right,
also knocking in a run.
Keeping innings alive, driving in runs. That last curveball from Randy Wolf, I don't think he got registered on the speed gun.
Did he get past 50?
Yeah, maybe mid-50s, if that. He'll do that from time to time.
2-0 to Viciedo. 1 out. And Pierzynski not a threat to run here.
They're telling me that registered 57 miles an hour.
Got over the half-century mark.
It's like an ephus.
Here's another one. Fly ball right field. Nyjer Morgan coming over in the corner. Looking up. Gone. Home run. Viciedo gets it over the screen in right field. And a 2-run homer. And the White Sox take a 4-2 lead. 13th homer of the year for Viciedo. And now his 3rd RBI of the contest.
Yeah, every White Sox hitter in this inning has taken the ball to the opposite field. This time out of the ballpark, right down the line at 335 in the right field corner. Good approach by the White Sox in this inning.
And Alexei Ramirez with 1 out after Viciedo's home run. That pitch is down low for a ball.
Did a nice job waiting back. You saw the location of the curveball up in the zone at 68 miles an hour.
That one had to be in the 80s at least. As Viciedo now with 9 of his 13 homers here at U.S. Cellular Field. Curveball grounded to Weeks. And Ramirez is thrown out, 2nd out. And Orlando Hudson, the number 9 hitter, will be coming to the plate.
I think what Randy Wolf is doing right now, he really hasn't been able to establish that fastball inside, as Ron Renneke was talking about before the ball game. So what he's doing is trying to keep these hitters off balance with the big curveball. He's throwing a lot of them, but this inning he's left a couple up in the zone.
Here's Hudson. Gets the fastball and fouls it off. Hudson looked as if he hit into the 4-6-3 double play in the 2nd inning, but Cody Ransom did not have his foot on the bag. So the runner was safe. No further damage, however. And Hudson was out on a 4-6-3 ground out, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike to it. Way in front of that one. And he strikes out on the inside corner. Third strikeout of the game, but Diane Viciedo with a 2-run homer, giving the White Sox the lead after 4. Chicago, Dick Stockton along with Bill Schroeder. The White Sox in front of the Brewers 4-2, and Milwaukee batting in the 5th inning. The number 8 hitter Cody Ransom facing Dylan Axelrod, who has a 2-run lead. Ransom fly to left his first time up, and he takes ball 1. We were talking about Orlando Hudson and how entertaining he is in our sounds of the game. Heck, we had a lot of choices and didn't know where to go with it, but we're going to, after Ransom's at bat, we're going to show you Orlando Hudson, and we talked about how he has been struggling at third base. He had some things to say about how he plays third base, and that's coming right up, and that was during batting practice. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swings at a pitch up in the zone. Brewers got an unearned run in the 2nd inning. The White Sox answered with 2 in the bottom of the 2nd. Milwaukee tied it with a run in the 3rd inning. Started with a hit batsman, and then the 2-run homer by Viciedo. The margin right now. And now Axelrod falls behind 3-1.
Axelrod having a tough time with his slider. Having a tough time throwing it for strikes. The Brewers have been swinging at it out of the zone once in a while, particularly with 2 strikes.
Line drive, foul down the left field line.
And when you can't throw the breaking pitches over for strikes, it's lonely out there in the mound.
Got to have that other pitch.
Yes, you do. At least one as a starter. You saw him throw a couple of curveballs early in the game, but really hasn't used it much since.
Dylan Axelrod filling in on a starting staff with a couple of the starters on the DL. Fly ball hit to right field. Rios is there making the catch. Here's Orlando Hudson before the game.
Hey, how you think? Who finna play infield in with somebody like Gary Sheffield hitting? If we got Batista up hitting or Miguel Cabrera hitting, and you call me infield in, Joe Mack. Now that might be one time where you look at me and say, man, oh bad person, man. I am not going on the cut of that grass with Miguel Cabrera hitting, and I'm gonna be like Just like I'm fit to make a play. Come on, give it to me. Ain't finna happen. No. Right there.
Funny man.
Carlos Gomez fouls it off.
He is one of the big characters of this game. Has a good time. Shouldn't every baseball player be like that? Just loves to be out on the field, loves to be a ball player. But the thing is, you know, if they asked him to go in on the grass, he'd go. Just a bit.
Foul ball. 0-2. And here's the play in the first inning. Gordon Beckham.
It's not so safe on the outfield grass either. Infield grass, outfield grass.
And that wasn't the play in the first inning. That was Alexi Ramirez in the second. He handled the play pretty well in the first inning against Beckham. And the count remains on the foul ball 0-2. Carlos Gomez, who was out on a nifty play by Axelrod, sliding on his knees for several feet and then flipping over to Paul Konerko. This one hit deeper, center field. Lillibridge going way back. Lillibridge back there, and Lillibridge coming up with the ball in a sensational play. We have had more brilliant defensive plays in the first half of this game than you may see in a month.
Yeah, that was a nice play out there in center field. Wow. You're right, Dick. This has been a defensive clinic so far tonight. Check it out. It wouldn't have been out of the ballpark, but what a play by Brett Lillibridge out there in center field. He takes his eye off the baseball just for a little bit and takes extra bases away from Carlos Gomez.
Only his third start of the year, and how appreciative is Dylan Axelrod. So there are two down. So Gomez kind of been robbed twice on two good defensive plays. That one was better than good. And here is Norichika Aoki, who popped to short and was hit by a pitch. He stole second in the third and came around on Ryan Braun's RBI single.
Yeah, what made that play even more dramatic was the fact that he plays pretty shallow in center field. He wasn't expecting Gomez to hit the ball that far, and able to go back nicely.
That one is a base hit to center by Aoki. So that'll be a single. And the fourth hit of the game for the Brewers. So Aoki, who stole a base back in the third inning, is aboard with two out here. And Nyjer Morgan coming up to the plate. You know, you mentioned how Lillibridge was playing in. All the good center fielders play in.
You have to be able to go back into baseball comfortably to be able to play shallow, and there's going to be a lot more baseballs falling in front of you in the outfield than going over your head. So it's a real benefit to be able to play shallow, but you have to be able to go back like that.
Well, that's it. They have the confidence to be able to go back. Willie Mays once said, hey, I played about 15 paces behind second base. Not quite the exaggeration you'd think. Here's Morgan 0 for 2. First pitch, strike one from Axelrod. Brewers batting here in the fifth inning. The White Sox lead 4-2. Brewers have won 2 in a row and 5 of their last 7. They're one game under 500 in interleague play. One and one now to Morgan. Nyjer Morgan, a hockey player. That's right, born in San Francisco, but became hooked on hockey watching the 1988 Olympics.
Man, he was a good one.
Yeah, he just didn't get in there to skate around on the fourth line, did he? There goes the runner. Swung on and missed, and Pierzynski loses the handle, and Aoki is in with his second stolen base of the game and his 7th of the year.
A couple of stolen bases off of A.J. Pierzynski, and he's been throwing the baseball pretty well this year. He's got a very good throw-out percentage and tried to be a little bit too quick, lost the handle, and that's what happens when you try to be too quick behind home plate. You don't have the ball in your hand and not able to do much.
Breaking ball is inside. 4-2 the score, but now the Brewers have a runner in scoring position. Last time Aoki stole second. He came around on a Braun single to tie the game at that time, 2-2. Now it's 4-2 in favor of the White Sox. 2 out and 2-2 to Morgan. Just got a piece of it. Stays alive. Talking about his hockey, he got his high school diploma from a school in St. Albert, Alberta, and reached the Western Hockey League, which is the highest level of junior hockey. So you're right, Bill Schroeder. He played for keeps.
Yeah, I mean, he plays baseball like hockey. He's not afraid of anything. He'll come right after you.
How's his slap shot?
Very good.
Checking Aoki at second, and a base hit to left field. Aoki rounds third, and he'll score. And the Brewers now trail 4-3. Nyjer Morgan with his 4th run batted into the year. And the Brewers fight back with 2 out here in the 5th.
Well, just like George Kottaras, Nyjer Morgan able to slap that one into left field. You try and pull that pitch, that's going to be an easy ground out. Nyjer Morgan waits back. It's a sinker going away from him, and able to dump it into left. Aoki trips up over third base. I think he got it. I guess that's why he tripped on the bag and able to score.
Don Cooper, the White Sox pitching coach, making a trip out to the mound. So Morgan tripped. You can say what a trip this has been for the Brewers, getting a run here in the 5th inning.
And notice the approach of all these hitters that have been able to, get the base hit, drive in runs, go into the opposite field. I mean, try and pull these pitches, you're not going to get very far. Good approaches so far tonight.
And that's why a lot of managers, when hitters are struggling, we know that Joe Madden does this in Tampa Bay, will hit people in the leadoff spots, so they'll be concentrating more and be able to do more of that.
Yeah, just trying to shoot the ball the other way. And as they say, there's a lot more hits on the handle of the bat than there are on the end of the bat.
So Cooper going back to the dugout. And Ryan Braun, 1 for 2, single to center field, knocking in his 52nd run of the year. Randy Wolf and Dylan Axelrod, their numbers thus far. Morgan is on at first. He has 7 stolen bases in 9 tries. So maybe Ron Renicky will say, let's see if we can move the tying run into scoring position.
One thing you don't want to do on the base is get thrown out trying to steal with Ryan Braun at the plate.
Right.
You're in scoring position at first base with him up.
Diving back.
Axelrod's pitch count starting to climb. 89 pitches. Check that, 88.
No activity as of yet in the White Sox bullpen. Morgan, the tying run at first with 2 away. Breaking ball, grounded to third, and getting the force at second is Orlando Hudson, but the Brewers get a run and climb to within 1 as the White Sox come up in the 5th. Budweiser is sponsored by Chevrolet, proud to support youth baseball in cities and towns across the country. Randy Wolf with a one-run lead, or trailing by a run, as you would say, facing the White Sox in the bottom of the fifth. It'll be the top of the order. Brent Lillibridge, Gordon Beckham, and Adam Dunn. Lillibridge is 0 for 2, called out on strikes his last time up. Fouls off the first pitch for a strike. Lillibridge with a terrific play defensively, robbing Carlos Gomez in the top of this inning. Gets jammed, pops it up. Corey Hart in foul territory, one gone. Well, Randy Wolf getting the pitch inside in that occasion, Bill.
Yeah, he was able to get the last out, Orlando Hudson, on a fastball in, a called strike, and then able to jam Lillibridge on a four-seam fastball in the inside corner. That's a big pitch for him, according to Ron Renicky.
Gordon Beckham robbed of a hit by Aramis Ramirez and lined out to Morgan in right field. Strike one to Beckham. Broke in as a third baseman. Lays off the pitch. 8th overall pick, 2008. And within a year became a regular with the White Sox. One and two, and you can see there where Wolf getting more confidence, getting that pitch inside.
You got to keep him honest on the inside corner. If you don't have that pitch, what else are you going to do? You got to flip up that slow curveball.
In the air to right center field. Could be trouble, and it is. In the gap in right center, Morgan recovers nicely, gets the ball back in, but not before Beckham is on at second with a one-out double. That's the 7th hit.
Yeah, good power by Beckham on an off-speed pitch taken to the opposite field. He's got 9 home runs this year. Not bad for a second baseman. His defense has improved, according to his manager, and a nice short stroke, driving that ball into right center. Another very good opposite field approach.
So the White Sox leading by a run, 1 out, and a runner in scoring position, and the danger is Adam Dunn. Lined out to Ricky Weeks, and the shift is on once again. Weeks playing in short right field. Retired him on a line drive, which would normally be a base hit if the shift were not on, and then Dunn struck out in the third.
Now Ransom has to stay a little closer to second base with Beckham at second. Not able to swing him around like they did early in the game.
2 balls, no strikes to Dunn. Looks like a football player. Well, he went to the University of Texas to be a quarterback, and he left after a year when they said, no, we'll get one. You go to tight end. Didn't like that idea.
He's a big man.
It's a strike, 2-1. He's built like a tight end.
Linebacker, lineman, you name it.
Good pitch by Wolf there, and fouled away, 2-2.
You're not going to find too many guys 6'6", 285 in baseball.
And look at the difference, the contrast between last year and this.
It's a head scratcher. He's doing the same thing, according to his manager.
Fouls it off. We were talking about Will Middlebrooks leading American League hitters and runners in scoring position, and of course third base problematical right now. Kevin Youkilis of the Red Sox could be shot. Interesting.
A lot of teams have been inquiring about Kevin Youkilis. Maybe has overstayed his welcome in Boston. Imagine that.
Well, I still think he's an effective player there, but Middlebrooks kind of has to play. He shows all the signs of being one that has star potential. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, and Beckham is on at second base. And Dunn strikes out for the second time, and there are 2 gone. Strikeout number 4 for Randy Wolf.
And second consecutive time that he's been able to get Adam Dunn. Swings right through it. Fastball that was supposed to be on the inside corner ended up right down the middle. And just like last time up, Adam Dunn wondering how he didn't hit that pitch.
So Wolf has 2 down. Still Beckham on at second, and Paul Konerko, who is 1 for 2 with a single and scored 1 of the 4 runs for the White Sox and takes strike 1. Of course, talking about the acquisition of Youkilis and his big price tag. And of course, the White Sox are not totally pleased with what they've drawn here, and so Kenny Williams and Jerry Reinsdorf have to decide, do we want to make a move like that with the attendance the way it's been?
Well, he publicly said in the newspaper it's going to depend on how our attendance is if we're going to be able to go out and get somebody. So basically putting the pressure on the fans. Why not, right? Come out to the ballpark, root us on, and if we get some money, we're going to buy some pieces that are going to help us to get to the postseason. Not a bad idea.
Look at the crowd here on this very comfortable Saturday evening in June. 30,337 is the attendance tonight. In the dirt, 1-2 to Konerko, who has 39 runs batted in. And time called, and Kataris going to the mound to talk to Wolf.
Obviously a very big situation for Randy Wolf. You got a man at second, first base is open. You got one of the best clutch hitters in the American League, Paul Konerko, at the plate. You don't want to make a mistake.
But you have Alex Rios on deck, and he has a sharp single to the opposite field and 35 runs batted in, just 4 fewer than Konerko. So Beckham, who doubled with 1 out. Now there are 2 down, and the pitch fouled away. White Sox really have struggled at home this year. They're 17-21, and only the Red Sox in the league, with a team playing over 500 ball, are under 500 at home. On the road to another story for the White Sox.
And you would figure this ballpark would play pretty well for him. It's a good hitter's ballpark.
2-2 now to Konerko. White Sox are 6 games over 500 on the road. Indians lost to the Astros, so the White Sox 1 game behind. Trying to make it a half a game if they can go on and beat the Brewers. They're up 4-3 here in the bottom of the 5th. Fly ball, the left field, just missing that one was Konerko, and Aoki makes the catch, and that'll do it. So Beckham, who doubled, stranded at second. We go to the 6th, 4-3 White Sox. by Budweiser is sponsored by Just for Men. Mustache and beard, keep living the dream. One-run game, and Dylan Axelrod trying to protect it right here. He has thrown 89 pitches, facing Aramis Ramirez, Corey Hart, and Ricky Weeks here in the 6th inning. And the first pitch is ball 1 to Ramirez, who singled and came around and scored on an error by Viciedo in the 2nd inning. And fly to left his last time up. And Axelrod behind on the count, now 2-0. A shot up the middle. Aramis Ramirez with a shot. Leadoff single in the 6th inning. 2nd hit of the game.
The only pitches really the Brewers have been able to really get a good swing at is that sinker up in the strike zone. And that was right down the middle, about belt high. And Ramirez almost undresses young Axelrod. There it is. Center cut right down the middle and a base hit. Leadoff base runner for the Brewers.
So Ramirez twice tonight has led off innings with singles. Here's Corey Hart, who has struck out twice. Brewers trailing by a run. They have the leadoff man aboard here in the 6th inning. And bullpen activity for the White Sox, Nate Jones and Will Omen. They won't wait too long to get Axelrod, who has pitched well and has the lead right now. Foul ball, and the count is 1-1. Axelrod drafted in the 30th round by the Padres. Yes, they have that many. Back in 2007, first 3 years with the Padres as a reliever in their farm system, and then they released him, and he was picked up by the Windy City Thunderbolts of the Frontier League. They play their games in southwest Chicago in the suburb of Crestwood.
Not many 30-rounders in the big leagues. Good for him. You get drafted in a 30-round, organizations are always looking for reasons to get rid of you. You don't have a lot of money invested in keeping you around, and Axelrod just kept hanging in there, and here he is.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Corey Hart. He's off the pitch, and the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Axelrod a little bit has the look of an Oral Hershiser.
Yeah, and his delivery and some of his pitches, that sinker in particular.
And his facial
maybe
expression. Would love to have that career, would he?
Bulldog.
Full count now to Hart. On deck is Ricky Weeks. Aramis Ramirez, who has 2 of the 6 Brewer hits, and a fly ball hit to right field. Rios is there to make the catch. Ramirez goes back to first, and there's 1 gone here in the 6th inning. Well, back on April 15, 1987, Hall of Famer Robin Yount made an incredible catch on a drive by Hall of Famer Eddie Murray. And that gave Juan Nieves the first and still only no-hitter in Brewers history. And yes, the catcher for the Brewers that day, none other than my partner, Bill Schroeder.
That was a great day. That was part of a 13-0 start for the Brewers. Juan Nieves, the current bullpen coach for the Chicago White Sox. Had a nice visit with Juan a couple of days ago, and he's doing well.
Ricky Weeks swings and misses, strike 1. It's a thrill that, you know, they talk about pitchers who have pitched no-hitters.
Right.
What about guys who have caught them?
Right. It's fun. It was fun. He had great stuff when he was a youngster. Hurt his shoulder, and his career was cut short. But like talking about an explosive electric fastball and a curveball that day, that was his day in the sun. Juan Nieves.
2 strikes to Ricky Weeks. And Nieves, the bullpen coach, and the bullpen has double-barreled activity in progress. 5th year with Chicago in that role. Axelrod, after giving up the leadoff hit to Ramirez, getting hard on a fly to deep right. 1-2 to Weeks with Kataris on deck.
You know, they had mullet day here at the ballpark yesterday. You notice all the hairdos back in '87. It was all mullets back then, wasn't it?
Oh, 99%.
It's a good look back then.
And the ball getting away from Pierzynski, allowing Aramis Ramirez to move into second. So now the Brewers advance the runner, tying run in scoring position.
Well, slider that Pierzynski, I guess, thought he was going to be able to catch in the air. He backhanded it and off the glove. And now Milwaukee with a man in scoring position.
That's a pass ball charged to Pierzynski. So the Brewers fighting back. Hit batsman Aoki scored a run in the 3rd inning. And then a single, stolen base, got another run, pecking away, and with 1 out, runner at second, the 2-2 pitch hits Ricky Weeks. And the second hit batsman for Dylan Axelrod. And that'll be all for Axelrod as Robin Ventura coming out to the mound. Weeks is on at first base. And runners at first and second, and 1 out. And Will Oman getting the call. We'll be right back. So Dylan Axelrod departs after hitting Ricky Weeks, second hit batsman of the game, and runners at first and second with 1 out in a 4-3 game. And Axelrod not happy with himself, but getting some congratulations for getting his team into the 6th inning. And Martin Maldonado is coming up to bat for George Kataris. Maldonado, in his 9th year as a pro in this country, still only 25 years old, facing the new pitcher, lefty Will Oman. So they go with the right-handed batter against the lefty Will Oman, the 34-year-old, and the first pitch, strike 1.
Yeah, they bring in Will Oman because he's been very good against lefties. Only 8 for 51 so far this year. Maldonado, the everyday catcher, taken over after Jonathan Lucroy, who was off to a great start behind home plate. He was off to an all-star start. Broke his hand. Maldonado has been a big surprise offensively.
Ramirez at second, Weeks at first base, 4-3 to score, and a call strike. So Will Oman gets ahead of Martin Maldonado. Oman, by the way, who began his big league career with the Cubs, been well traveled, and a teammate of the Brewers, Randy Wolf, at college at Pepperdine. One out, 0-2 to the pinch hitter. And time is called. Oman was born in Germany and attended high school in Colorado. And when the White Sox shut out the Cubs, pitched a 1-2-3 ninth in Wednesday's White Sox win in this crosstown rivalry. Here's the 0-2. Check swing. Did he go around? No. Checking with Angel Campos, so the count now 1-2.
Good curveball down in the strike zone from Oman. He's got a good one. This time Przinsky able to smother it and keep it in front of him. Oman got off to a terrible start this year. ERA hovering around 8. But lately he's been much better.
One ball, 2 strikes, 2 runners on. Brewers trail by a run. Tying run is in scoring position and is a looper into center field for a base hit. Aramis Ramirez will come around and score. Here's the throw to the plate, and it wasn't cut off, and as a result, Maldonado goes into second. There was no chance to get Aramis Ramirez at the plate, and the throw came to the plate. And now the Brewers have runners at second and third, and the game is tied 4-4 as Ventura comes out again.
And because of the bad throw, throwing to the wrong base, there's no way you're going to get an out at home. And because of the throw into home plate, both runners advance.
And that'll be all for Oman, and Nate Jones will get the call here. And the Brewers have tied it up, and they have 2 runners in scoring position. Oman giving up a hit to Maldonado.
Yeah, check it out. Watch the base runners. You see Ramirez freezing a little bit. By the time Lillibridge gets the baseball, there's no way he's going to be able to make a play at home plate on Aramis Ramirez. The throw's got to come to third base. Look where Ricky is. I think if he throws to third, they get an out. It would be 2 outs and a man at second base. But the way it stands, the Brewers are in business.
Cody Ransom 0 for 2. And a shot off the glove into center field. Jones had it deflect off his glove. 1 run scores. They're going to hold Maldonado at third. Runners at the corners, and the Brewers scoring 2 here in the 6th inning, taking a 5-4 lead, and only 1 out, and they're not done. So Nate Jones, who has come on, giving up a scorching hit to Ransom, knocking in his 22nd run of the year. 26-year-old right-hander from Falmouth, Kentucky, hasn't pitched since Monday and is welcomed by Cody Ransom.
Yeah, one of 5 rookie pitchers on this pitching staff, and Nate Jones off to a good start. Ransom picks on the first pitch and drives in a run.
And that run charged to Dylan Axelrod, and his log is complete, as Carlos Gomez, with runners at first and third, 1 out, showing bunt. And Hudson from third and Konerko from first, charging. Will Omen coming in and giving up an RBI single to Maldonado, his first pinch hit single of the year, and then Cody Ransom following with an RBI base hit.
Bullpen has been a strong suit for the White Sox just about all year, even with all the young pitchers out in the bullpen. Robin Ventura, Don Cooper, very happy with the way these guys have been performing.
And a fly ball hit deep to right field. Rios is back on the warning track, makes the catch, and tagging up and scoring is Maldonado, and the Brewers with 3 runs here in the 6th inning, taking a 6-4 lead. Holding at first is Ransom, and for Gomez, his 13th RBI of the year. He got the job done.
A couple of at-bats for Gomez back-to-back where he nearly hit one out of here.
And that run charged to Will Omen.
Outer half, Gomez doing a nice job driving it to the opposite field.
Aoki with a 2-base hit, ground rule double, and Ransom is going to have to go back to third. So Aoki delivering with his 2nd hit of the game. It'll be a double, and now Brewers runners at 2nd and 3rd. And you're right, this bullpen, Omen coming in, giving up a hit to one batter, and then Nate Jones has been tagged hard.
And because that baseball bounces into the stands, it saves the White Sox a run for the time being. That certainly would have been a run. Ransom would have been able to score from first base. As we mentioned, Lillibridge likes to play shallow, and 1 hop into the seats, and Ransom has to stay at third.
So 9 hits now for the Brewers. And Nyjer Morgan at the plate takes ball 1. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Been a crazy quote game in which the Brewers scored first. White Sox came back with 2. Brewers tied it up. White Sox 2 in the 4th. Brewers said, I'll match you one run. I'll come within a run, and then 3 here in the 6th.
This is more like a Brewers White Sox game as opposed to last night.
Isn't it ever? 2 balls and no strikes to Morgan, who knocked in a run with an opposite field single last inning. That pitch a bit high with the fastball. And Nate Jones falling behind 3-0. No activity in the White Sox bullpen going.
98 miles an hour on that fastball. Got a good arm.
2 men out. Ball 4, and Morgan is on to load the bases. Don Cooper coming to the mound. Ryan Braun coming up now. And what a conversation this would be.
Yeah, good luck, right? A rookie out there, he's throwing hard but can't get the ball down. And one of the best run producers in all of baseball coming up. Nowhere to put him.
Braun has already delivered an RBI single in the third.
That was a well-timed trip to the mound for Don Cooper. This kid's a rookie. He's had some success, but this is a tough spot. This is why having a lot of these rookies out in the bullpen could come back to haunt him late in the season.
Made his big league debut April 8th. He's 3-0. Remember, he hasn't pitched since Monday against the Cubs. He faced 5 batters, 4 of them scored. So he's not coming off the best of outings. And here's Ryan Braun, 1 for 3. Single, knocking in his 52nd run. That pitch up and in. 1-0 to Braun, the 9th batter to come up for the Brewers here in the 6th. 3 runs in and 4 hits here in this 6th inning. Ball strike, 1-1. Ransom on at third. Aoki at second. Morgan at first. Ransom, Aoki, and Nyjer Morgan. Brian Bruni, who just came up from White Sox Charlotte Farm Club, has begun to throw. And Braun lifts it in the air. And Rios makes the catch. 9 men come up. They get Braun with the bases loaded, but 3 cross the plate, and the Brewers take a 6-4 lead into the bottom of the 6th.
Baseball night in America, the Beltway battle in Baltimore. The O's have beaten the Nats in 10 of their last 13 at home. Enough, says Adam LaRoche, who's 13th of the year, made it 3-0 Nationals. They're in the 7th. Freeway Series in Southern California. Angels have won 12 of their last 16 against the Dodgers. Enough of that, says ex-Brewer Jerry Hairston, whose infield single in the 6th makes it 3-1 Dodgers. Back to Dick and Bill in Chicago.
All right, Matt Vasgersian, thanks for the update. And the Brewers now with a 2-run lead for Randy Wolf. He has seen this before, though. Alex Rios leading off and taking strike 1. Rios 1 for 2 with a single.
Yeah, Randy Wolf has been victimized by a blown save in 5 of his last 8 outings as Maldonado takes over behind home plate.
So Randy Wolf, whose longest stint has been 7 innings on 2 occasions this year. And Rios with a foul ball down the line. 1-2 to Rios will be followed by A.J. Brzezinski and Diane Viciedo, who has a 2-run homer tonight off of Wolf. And it's 2-2. Cameron Lowe warming up for Milwaukee. 2-2 to the leadoff hitter. Line drive, base hit to left field. And Rios with his second hit of the game, leading off in the sixth, and the tying run, A.J. Pierzynski, coming to the plate. Well, this July, don't miss the biggest event of the summer as baseball's greatest stars battle for home field advantage in the Fall Classic. The road to the World Series begins with the 2012 MLB All-Star Game, Tuesday, July 10th at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on Fox. So here's Pierzynski, 1-for-1, sacrificed and singled and scored a run. Representing the tying run at the plate, fly ball down the left field line. Aoki coming over, can't get it as it drops foul. Ron Renicky, who will be part of the coaching staff, and Tony La Russa managing, and he's bringing all of his coaches from last year in as well.
Right. Tony La Russa, kind of an interesting situation, not managing anymore. He retires after the Cardinals won the World Series last year, but baseball and Bud Selig decided to give him the opportunity to manage the All-Star game, and
why not
bring in Ron Renicky, who was in the NLCS with him.
Rios has 9 stolen bases on the year. White Sox trailing by 2 runs after the Brewers chalked up 3 in the top of this inning. Throwing over with earnest this time is Randy Wolf. Randy Wolf has never beaten the White Sox. Last time he started against them was late June 3 years ago. It was back June 24th. And there goes Rios, and he's going to get in there with a stolen base. So Robin Ventura sending Rios, and he's in with his 10th stolen base of the year. Still no one out, and a runner at second.
After a couple of throws to first base, Rios figuring he's not going to go over there again. I'm going to go in the first move, and he got a great jump, and Maldonado's throw, even if it was right on the money, I don't think gets him.
Count is 1-1 to Pierzynski with Viciedo on deck. Two and one, and it's been these hitters who have done the damage for the White Sox: Rios, Pierzynski, Viciedo, and Alexi Ramirez. 5, 6, 7, and 8 in the order against Randy Wolf tonight. Rios with 2 hits, Pierzynski with 1, Viciedo with a single and a 2-run homer. There's Viciedo. Curveball, and it's 3-1.
Man, you wonder how much of an effect it has on Randy Wolf now that Catarz is out of the game. He's his personal catcher. And Martin Maldonado, who did drive in a run, he's behind home plate now. These guys haven't worked together.
In the air to center field. Carlos Gomez tagging up his Rios, does not go as the throw comes back, and Pierzynski is retired for the first out. What kind of an adjustment is that when you haven't been the personal catcher of a hurler?
Well, it's going to be more important for Randy Wolf to, just understand that, the way the game was going, they had to make the move offensively, and he's just going to have to figure out a way to get on the same page with Maldonado. You might see a little bit more shaking off. But I think the point is going to be moot because here comes Renicky.
Cameron Lowe is going to come in there, and that'll be all for Randy Wolf. So Randy Wolf has been in this situation before with the lead not held. We'll see what happens here. responsible for the runner at second base in 5 of last 8 appearances. The bullpen did not hold the lead, and so Cameron Lowe, 30-year-old from Granada Hills, California, he was a high school teammate of Ryan Braun, is in to face Dayan Viciedo. Never faced him before. Viciedo has 2 hits, a single, and a 2-run homer. 3 runs batted in tonight.
Cameron Lowe, not a hard thrower. He relies on good sink on his fastball. Ron Renneke looking for a ground ball.
3rd year with the Brewers after 5 with the Rangers and 1 year in Japan. There's a strike movement on that fastball.
When he gets it down in the strike zone, which that pitch was up, he gets it down in the zone. He's got good late life, drops around the ankles and gets his ground balls. When he leaves it up, that's when he gets in trouble, like all sinker ballers.
Down low, saw Viciedo, who was hitting 132 in June, struggled earlier in the year, has been up and down, but has responded tonight. And he represents the tying run here, with Rios at second, singled and stole second. 1 out. Ground ball, base hit to center field. They're going to wave him in. Rios rounds third, charging is Gomez. He'll throw to second, and the White Sox climb to within a run. And what a night for Viciedo. 3 for 3 and 4 runs batted in. And the tying run now at first base.
Well, Cameron Lowe got a pitch down in the strike zone. He got his ground ball. Viciedo find the hole up the middle. Putting a good swing on that baseball here tonight. Hitting the ball all over the diamond. Left field, right field with a home run, and now up the middle. Big night.
4 runs batted in, giving him 34 on the year. And now Randy Wolf seeing a repeat. Hopefully not for him, as Alexei Ramirez takes a strike. 1 for 2 with an infield hit and a run batted in.
The bottom of this Sox order has been pretty good tonight. Top 3, not a whole lot going on. We talked about the supporting cast tonight.
5 of their 9 hits by the bottom third of the order. Big cut by Ramirez. So there you see Randy Wolf, who has left the game with a lead and earned no decision in 5 of the last 8 starts. And now this lead is in jeopardy with 1 out. Viciedo on at first base in a 1-run game. Good play by Maldonado behind the plate.
The Brewers like this young catcher. He's got good technique behind home plate. He's got a good throwing arm.
One-two pitch. Reaches out, ground ball. Aramis Ramirez makes the play to first base. And Viciedo moves to second, but there are 2 down now. Tying run in scoring position. And Orlando Hudson coming to the plate. Now Hudson has faced Lowe once and has hit a home run against Cameron Lowe. He's 0 for 2 tonight.
Now, and this is where Robin Ventura really needs some production out of his third baseman. He got 2 outs, a right-hander out there. Hudson, the switch hitter. Look at that big 2-out base hit.
White Sox looking to tie the game. And it's been a game in which both teams have answered scores in the various innings. Lowe with a long look at Viciedo. Swing and a miss. Brewers got a run in the second. White Sox answered with 2. And the Brewers got 3 in the top of the 6th inning. White Sox have answered with 1, trailing 6-5. And on the phone again is Rick Kranitz. Two down, runner at second. The 0-1. Down low. Rios led off with a hit, stole second. And then Viciedo with a home run and 2 singles and 4 runs batted in. Now it's second with 2 out. Good breaking pitch. And it's 1-2.
Yep, he's got that slider and a curveball to go with that sinker. Hudson swinging fastball, but it broke out of the strike zone.
Check to swing. And a tough pitch to hold up on.
Yes, it was. Right down the middle to start and then broke in the dirt. Hudson saw that one pretty well. Hudson looking for something up in his zone, just like the Brewers tried to do against Axelrod. You got to do the same thing against Cameron Lowe.
White Sox batting in the 6th. They've had the lead. So are the Brewers tonight. Brewers right now with a 1-run lead. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Orlando Hudson. And a shot hit to center field. Carlos Gomez way over his head. Tying run will score. Hudson will go into second with a double. And the White Sox have come back to tie it up 6-6. And for Randy Wolf, another night of which the lead is blown.
Well, he's seen that before, but Orlando Hudson doing a nice job laying off that breaking ball on the 2-2 pitch. He got one up in his zone from Cameron Lowe, and he drove it over the head of Carlos Gomez. Here it is. Up in his zone, right down the middle. Lowe had to throw a strike, and Orlando Hudson drove it 1 hop off the center field fence. So the White Sox 1 base hit away from retaking the lead.
And the top of the order, Brent Lillibridge. So Hudson now with his 11th RBI. Stepping off the rubber is Lowe. So the bottom third of the order. Robin Ventura said, I want more production. Abracadabra. 6 runs batted in. All 6 runs for the White Sox coming from the bottom third.
Guys are saying all you had to do was ask.
1-0 the count. 5 for 9 for the bottom third of the order. And Viciedo leading the way. He's 3 for 3 with a homer, 2 singles, and 4 runs driven in. Beckham would be next. Lillibridge is 0 for 3. 2 out. Go ahead run at second. And the count 2-0 to Brent Lillibridge. So you got a feel for Randy Wolf.
Yeah, it is one of those things where at least tonight he wasn't able to get deep enough into the ball game. He did go up to four runs, but 3 2/3 a lot to ask of your bullpen to keep him scoreless.
On the inside corner, 2-1. So in 5 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, 4 strikeouts, and giving up the 2-run homer to Viciedo. Hudson at second. Top foul. And you could tell early this game was going to be in sharp contrast to last night's 10-inning 1-0 affair.
Yeah, second inning is all you needed to see, right?
White Sox have come back to tie, getting 2 runs here in the 6th after the Brewers got 3. Getting a piece of that breaking pitch and staying alive is Brent Lillibridge. Lillibridge, who attended the University of Washington up in Seattle. Usually hitting lefties better than righties, but was struggling against southpaws this season. strikes out, and that'll do it, but not before the White Sox get 2 to tie it. And we'll return to Chicago's South Side after a word from your local Fox station. In America is presented by Budweiser. 6-6 score, and we go to the 7th inning, and Nate Jones facing Aramis Ramirez. And the pitch all the way back for ball 1. Ramirez has 2 hits tonight, has scored 2 runs, scored on an error and advanced on a pass ball. Former Cub third baseman taking ball 2 from Nate Jones. Interesting. Bill Schroeder, Nate Jones came in, gave up Cody Ransom single, knocking in 2 runs, wasn't responsible for them. Then a sacrifice fly, a double, a walk.
Yeah.
And is the pitcher of record here.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. You come in there, you give up some runs, and you stay in the game. The team scores some runs for you. You feel bad about it, but you'll take it.
Right. He did get Ryan Braun, though, with the bases loaded on a fly ball to Rios in right field. And Jesse Crane is warming up in the pen for the White Sox.
Now you can only imagine what this young man here, Nate Jones, would be able to do if he could get his breaking ball to be more consistent, like that pitch right there.
Ramirez strikes out, way out of the strike zone, and there's 1 out. Now it's time for the Just for Men Auto Stop Foolproof Stat. How about Diane Viciedo? Single, knocking in a run. 2-run homer, heading to the onslaught, and then a RBI single last inning. Just as Viciedo and the White Sox can count on him, you can count on Just for Men Auto Stop for foolproof results.
And showing that he can hit the ball to all fields. He's got 3 hits, all coming in different directions.
Corey Hart, 0 for 3, struck out twice. Good fastball there. Foul tipped into the glove of Persinski, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, the equalizer. You don't have good command. When you make a mistake with a pitch, it's good to be able to throw it at 98.
Covers all sins.
Yes, it does.
Shot to center field. Lillibridge back, looking up, off the wall. Bare hands it on the bounce, and Corey Hart is in at second with a double, a shot that did not miss a home run by that much.
And there has been a couple of close calls in the outfield for the Brewers tonight. Matter of fact, with both teams, there's only been one home run. And Corey Hart able to center on a fastball out away from him, and maybe a foot from hitting a home run.
Nate Jones walking the tightrope, to say the least. And here is Ricky Weeks, and Ventura's out of the mound, and he has seen enough. He's got Jesse Crain, and giving up 2 doubles, a single, a walk, and that'll be it. Crain coming in a 6-6 game, and we'll be right back. Nothing 10-inning affair when Ricky Weeks singled in the pinch runner Niger Morgan. And he'll be facing Ricky Weeks right here. Weeks reached on a hit batsman last inning and scored a run, and he is 2 for 4 against him in his career. So the Brewers with the go-ahead run in scoring position and 1 out, and Nate Jones leaves the game, and Crain is the 4th pitcher of the night for the White Sox.
And Jesse Crain has been a very reliable setup man and throughout his career with the Twins and now the White Sox.
Fastball tipped into the glove of Pierzynski, strike 1. 30-year-old, attended the University of Houston. Right-handed hitters have been batting at a 125 clip against them, but again, Weeks delivered last night.
Yeah, he got a fastball in on him and able to bang it into left field. Crain has a very good slider to go with that mid-90s fastball.
In there for strike 2, and this is the hit by Weeks last night.
Yeah, 3-2 pitch, and Jesse Crain tried to come in on him. Ricky Weeks able to get enough of it and drive it into left field.
2 strikes to count to Weeks here with 1 out. Corey Hart with a double with 1 out here in the 7th inning. To straightaway center field. There's the breaking ball. Slider misses, 1-2.
He's also got a split-fingered type pitch that he'll throw from time to time when he's ahead in the count. Uses predominantly against lefties.
Brewers trying to forge in front here, and it's been a seesaw game. We're tied at 6. 1 out here in the Brewers' 7th. Another breaking ball fouled back. Ricky Weeks made his first All-Star game last year, and hopefully maybe turning things around after being under 200 since the end of April.
Yeah, broke his ankle in August and missed most of the rest of the season. Got back for the playoffs for Milwaukee, but really hasn't been the same hitter since.
And gets him on a pitch up in the zone. Weeks goes down for out number 2.
Climbing the ladder just a little bit on Ricky Weeks, up around the belt, outer half, and Weeks swings right through it.
So Jesse Crain with the second out now will be facing Maldonado, who came in the game as a pinch hitter and delivered with an RBI single last inning against Will Omen. One and 0 to Maldonado. Now it's 2-0. Corey Hart with the lead. Three balls and no strikes to Maldonado, with Cody Ransom on deck. Ransom last inning delivered a run-scoring single.
Let's see if Ron Renneke gives Maldonado a opportunity to swing 3-0.
Takes the strike.
Yeah, right on the corner. Good pitch. Three and 0. You'd think you'd get one down the middle, wouldn't you? Right on the outside corner.
Crain giving up the winning RBI single last night, trying to keep this game all even. Misses with the breaking pitch, ball 4. Maldonado walks, and runners now at first and second with one out. Don Cooper coming out to the mound with Cody Ransom coming up.
There's been a lot of talk about why offense has been down in baseball. You look at this game right here. I mean, the White Sox have already used, this is their third reliever, and every one of them is coming out throwing 95, one of them 98. I mean, you never face a tired pitcher. One of the reasons why offense might be down, these guys have good arms coming out of these bullpens.
And of course, a different era in pitching compared to what it used to be when starters would go the different distance. We talked to Ron Renneke about complete games and how that's not important at all to him anymore.
Wasn't that long ago that teams had 10-man pitching staffs, right?
Right.
Now they've got 12.
And the All-Star game where the starter would actually go 3 innings. Ransom knocking in a run last inning with a single, 1 for 3. Two on, 2 out in the Brewers' 7th. 6-6 the score. That's a strike to Cody Ransom. Hart and Maldonado. One and 1 now. Brewers have won 2 in a row. 33 and 37 on the year. The Reds won tonight. And the Brewers, with a victory, would remain 5.5 behind. They're 2.5 behind the Cardinals coming into tonight's play. And the Brewers have done more than just keep their heads above water in the face of some really tough injuries this year.
Yeah, there was a 10-day stretch where the Brewers lost for the year their 5th starter, their shortstop Alex Gonzalez, and Matt Gamble, their young first baseman. So those guys are done. Jonathan Lucroy has been out for about 3 weeks. He's expected back around the All-Star game.
It'll be interesting for Ron Renicky to see what he does with his catching core then. Chop foul. Take a closer look at those 6 big injuries. I guess they're all big in some respect.
Yeah, but you look at the Brewers rotation. 3 of them have been on the disabled list. Sean Markham went on today. Lucroy out around the All-Star game. Not to say nothing about all the aches and pains and the pulls that the guys are playing with. I mean, that's pretty much rampant all around baseball. It's not just Milwaukee.
And of course, the Brewers signed Livan Hernandez, 37-year-old, released by the Braves in mid-June, and he's in uniform and with the club. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Crane. And the ball breaks outside, and the count is full, so the runners will be off on the pitch. Here's Livan Hernandez's numbers.
He'll be used as a swing man, a long reliever, and maybe a spot starter from time to time.
You have to abbreviate those teams. If you had them full, it would take like 3 pages.
Yeah, there's 7 of them there.
Runners will be off. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Strikes out Ransom, and the roar goes up as Jesse Crane pitches out of it. Score remains 6-6. DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. And buy the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway MPG. Third pitcher of the night for the Brewers is Jose Veras. who has not pitched since last Sunday, tweaked his leg covering first base in pitching a scoreless 12th against the Minnesota Twins. 31-year-old from Santo Domingo. Cameron Lowe gave up a run on 2 hits in 2/3 of an inning. And it'll be Beckham, Dunn, and Konerko for the White Sox in the home 7.
Jose Veras is a hard throw with a curveball. He relies a lot on his curveball. When he's able to throw it for strikes, he's very effective.
So Beckham leading off, 1 for 3, doubled his last time. Ball strike 1.
They get off to a slow start this year, but lately he's been very good. An earned run average under 1.
Not allowed an earned run since May the 18th. 13 scoreless outings in a row, and you pointed out how he's come back. Fouled off by Beckham, and the count 0-2.
It's amazing how success for pitchers is tied to success with breaking pitch. Not a coincidence.
Oh.
If you can throw that pitch for strikes, it's not just Veras, it's every pitcher. Makes everything better.
What are they going to look for here? Breaking ball, and that'll drop for a base hit. Aoki coming over, so Beckham with his second straight hit, leading off the 7th, and the go-ahead run aboard for Chicago.
That's a nice piece of hitting once again by Beckham. Doubling his last time up off of Randy Wolf. This time taking a Veras curveball, waiting back and dumping it into center. Nice piece of hitting.
And Adam Dunn looking to come alive in this game. Lined out to Ricky Weeks and then struck out twice. Dunn with 23 home runs, tied with Batista for the major league lead. That pitch away, 1-0. Pirates beat the Tigers 4-1 tonight. Pirates stay 1 game back of Cincinnati. And the White Sox can make up ground with the Indians and Tigers losing tonight. Tigers, meanwhile, staying 3.5 behind the Tribe. And diving back is Beckham.
I guess you'd have to consider the Tigers to be a disappointment at this point in the season. They got off to a good start, but the Tigers in the American League, the Phillies in the National League, I guess people expected more out of them.
And maybe the Red Sox as well.
Red Sox as always.
1-0 the count. Jose Veras. There's a strike on the inside corner. Good pitch. Talking to Ron Washington, the Rangers manager. He says, you know, this is a 162 game marathon, and somehow I feel teams like the Red Sox and the Tigers, you know, just hanging around right now will turn it on at some point.
And you stick around until you find your identity and go on a nice little winning streak.
There goes the runner. Gets a good jump, and the pitch all the way back. Sliding at second is Beckham. And Maldonado got back to the backstop in a hurry, and any chance of Beckham going to third was erased when he slid into the bag.
Yeah, that'll be a stolen base because he took off. Stolen base at 10th. Ball gets by the catcher, and that's all he's going to get.
But the runner does advance into scoring position. Tie-breaking run here in the 7th, and the count is 2-1 to Dunn. Good breaking balls, and he dropped down on that delivery, did Veras. 2-2.
Not many hitters are going to be looking breaking ball in a 2-1 count. And Veras able to throw it for a strike.
And Dunn strikes out for the 3rd straight time. And that'll be out number 1 here in the 7th inning.
And this is where strikeouts will hurt you. A lot of times with a guy like Dunn, you're going to have to deal with him, but not advancing base runners, those are the things that can cost you games.
With the runner in scoring position, nobody out. And here's Paul Konerko. So done now with 114 strikeouts this year. Konerko singled his first time up and scored a run. He's 1 for 3. Ball breaks outside for a ball. Brewers took a 2-run lead with a 3-run 6th, and the White Sox answered by tying it up in the bottom of the 6th. Sox trying to take the lead here in the 7th. Runner at second. Another breaking pitch, missing. 2-0.
Kind of wonder how aggressive they're going to be with Konerko, one of the best in the business at driving in big runs. Well, the guy on deck's having a pretty good night.
Rios, who has 2 hits and has scored a pair of runs to go along with a stolen base. Three 3-0. White Sox have stolen 2 bases tonight, Rios and Beckham. And now they're going to put him on with the count 3-0 and pitch to Rios, and runners on first and second.
Take the bat out of his hand and set up a double play. The Brewers turned 4 of them last night and lead the National League in double plays. So why not?
You know, we've been talking about how efficient the White Sox defense has been, and we have seen some brilliant defensive plays by Milwaukee tonight. And Rios coming to the plate. Runners at first and second with 1 away.
Rios, a tough guy to double up. He runs pretty well.
Weeks trying to keep Beckham close to second, cheating over there. There's a call strike to Rios. That walk to Konerko, and ball 4 was an intentional pass, was the first walk given up by Brewer pitchers tonight. Jose Veras, the 3rd of the night. Randy Wolf started, worked 5 1/3, left with the lead. And a base hit up the middle by Rios. Beckham rounds third, will score, and the White Sox take the 7-6 lead. Third hit of the game for Alex Rios. And RBI number 36 to break the tie.
Yeah, having a good night at the plate. Hammering that fastball back through the middle. And with Beckham's speed, he scores easily. That ball leaks right back over the heart of the plate. Able to get good extension on it, head down, and drives it right back into center field. And the White Sox have indeed come all the way back.
Konerko stopping at second, so 2 runners on, still 1 out. And A.J. Pierzynski has scored a run. He is 1 for 2 officially. Sacrificed his first time up, but actually he was trying to bunt for a base hit. We
have seen some very good approaches at home plate by both clubs tonight. Not trying to pull the baseball, driving it up the middle into the opposite field.
And the on-deck hitter is Diane Viciedo, who has not been retired tonight and has knocked in 4 of the 7 White Sox runs. Took something off that pitch. Ball's behind 2-0. Dylan Axelrod started tonight for the White Sox. And we have had runs scored in every inning but the first inning. The Brewers 4th, the White Sox 5th, and the Brewers 7th. Fouled away, 2-1.
And you got two pitchers in the dugout saying, where's all this run support last night?
It works that way, right?
Right, it does. You just never know what's going to happen. Chris Sale, 8 scoreless. Zach Greinke, 9 scoreless.
But with the starting pitching tonight, not to take anything away from them, you weren't looking at the same kind of billing of pitchers.
Not a bad job by Axelrod, though. I think Robin Ventura pleased with what he was able to give him.
Not at all. And could be in line for another start coming up. Here's the 2-1 coming up from Veras. Missing with a breaking ball, and he's fallen behind the last 3 hitters.
Ever since that base hit by Rios, really not wanting to throw a fastball for a strike.
Konerko at second, Rios at first. 3 balls and a strike. Brzezinski takes strike 2. Good pitch there. Viciedo waits. White Sox had trailed 6-4. 2 in the 6th, 1 here in the 7th. Livan Hernandez is throwing in the bullpen, the newcomer to the Brewers. Here's the payoff pitch, fastball, strike 3, and Brzezinski goes down for the second out.
That chase ball 4 right there. Tailing fastball from Veras off the outside corner, and Brzezinski comes up empty.
So Viciedo coming up now with another big opportunity. 3 for 3, 2 singles and a 2-run homer, 4 runs batted in, and those 3 hits tie his career high. His 4 runs driven in, 1 shy. He had a game with 5 RBIs. Looks at a breaking pitch for a strike, and here's the homer in the 4th.
Hanging breaking ball from Randy Wolf. He didn't try and pull it and just tucked it inside that right field line. Snuck it over the wall and a 2-run shot. He's looked very good at the plate tonight.
2 out, 0-1 to Dayan Viciedo. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Livan Hernandez working for the Brewers. Matt Thornton has been up for the White Sox. And look at the 7, 8, 9 hitters and the damage the Chicago batters have done from those spots. Goes after the fastball up. 1-2. There's the newcomer, Livan Hernandez. The 1-2, and he gets him on the breaking ball. So Viciedo retired for the first time tonight. 2 straight strikeouts for Veras. White Sox, however, get the go-ahead run. They leave 2. We go to the 8th. 7-6 Chicago. is presented by Budweiser. White Sox lead by a run, and Matt Thornton, who has been a fixture in the White Sox bullpen since 2006. 35-year-old southpaw facing Carlos Gomez, and the count 2 strikes to Gomez.
Yeah, Mr. Dependable. We talked about Jesse Crain. Matt Thornton's done the same thing for these White Sox. He's appeared in a lot of games this year, second most out of the bullpen in the American League.
Fly ball to right, and Rios retires Gomez, and there's one away, and Oki, the top of the order, coming up. And right now, here is the Toyota in-game box score for the Brewers, or I should say the Toyota in-game box for the Brewers as we have here. Some say Lexus. There it is.
Offense pretty spread out. Unfortunately, the Brewers have not been able to come up with the big hits with men in scoring position. Just 1 for 6 tonight.
Aoki with a base hit to right field. So Norichika Aoki with his 3rd straight hit, 1-out single. He's been aboard 4 times, and when they make up the lineup card,
it's a pretty good penmanship, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's
boy.
with Jerry Narin, the bench coach.
Even the English is in good penmanship.
Nice. Get some invitations written by Jerry.
For a wedding invitation,
Right.
he'd give up. His arm would get tired.
Right, yeah. He'd do it for you, though.
Nyjer Morgan. Been on the last 2 times. He's been to the plate, an RBI single in the 5th, walked in the 6th. So the Brewers with the tying run aboard with 1 out. And Aoki gets back. He was hit by a pitch in the 3rd, stole 2nd and scored a run. Singled, stole 2nd and scored a run in the 5th, and then doubled in the 6th.
Which is why they're holding them on, holding them close.
And has a base hit with 1 out here in a 7-6 game against Matt Thornton. Nyjer Morgan looks at strike 1.
Brewers out of right-handed batters on their bench. The only one on the bench is Cesar Izturis. He's a switch hitter. Taylor Green and Ishikawa, who just came off the disabled list. That's why Nyjer Morgan's getting at bat against Thornton here.
Close shave there, 1-1. Two stolen bases for Aoki. And keeping him close is the 35-year-old from Centerville, Michigan, who's taken a loss in 2 of his last 3 outings, but then was part of the shutout of the Cubs on Wednesday. Again over there. Brewers, by the way, have double-barreled action with Tim Dillard and Francisco Rodriguez, pair of right-handers. There they are. And the runner goes. Pitch taken for the strike, actually foul tipped into the glove to Pierzynski, and Aoki has his 3rd stolen base of the game. He has 8 stolen bases now in 10 tries, and the Brewers with the runner in tying run in scoring position.
Yeah, pretty good lead and a tremendous jump. Aoki is really reading pitchers pretty good tonight, and not even close. It's a pretty good jump against a left-handed pitcher.
And the count to Morgan is 1-2. Slaps it to left field, and that'll be foul. 1 away here in the 8th inning. Very few quiet innings, Bill Schroeder, tonight.
That's okay. making up for last night. Everybody loves offense.
And there's a lot to be said for those pitchers duel where everything is magnified.
Right.
Every bunt, every advance base. And you can see Morgan trying to go the other way against Matt Thornton, the lefty.
And you've been seeing more and more of those types of pitchers duels in baseball these days.
Ooh, have we ever this year? Chris Sale had no decision last night, giving up 4 hits, 8 shutout innings. 6-day rest worked him well, and Morgan strikes out. Tag put on, and that'll be the second out with Ryan Braun coming up to the plate. Matt Thornton will face Ryan Braun now. Well, next Saturday on Baseball Night in America, Tigers in Tampa to take on the Rays. Both teams looking to pick up ground. Diamondbacks will go against these Brewers in Milwaukee. Royals face the Twins, the Padres and the Rockies, Mets and Dodgers, the A's and the Rangers. Baseball Night in America, full slate. Telecast presented by Budweiser will begin next Saturday at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, only on Fox. Check your local listings. Not going to take any chances with Ryan Braun here in first base open. And they'll pitch to the former Cub Aramis Ramirez. So Braun will reach for the 3rd time.
Yeah, which is why Doug Melvin, the Brewers general manager, is so anxious to sign Ramirez, getting somebody behind Ryan Braun. Now the Prince Fielder's no longer behind him in the lineup.
Boy, what a difference that makes, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And Ramirez starting to heat up.
And so is Addison Reed in the White Sox bullpen. And the runners at first and second. Aoki at second and Ryan Braun at first, with Aramis Ramirez stepping to the plate. And there's Reed. So Ramirez coming up is 2 for 4. Has scored 2 runs tonight for the Brewers.
Robin Ventura on the top step of the dugout. This is a delay tactic by the White Sox to get their closer ready. And he just got up.
Yes, he did.
You wonder if he's going to be ready to come in. Very slow, deliberate march to the pitcher's mound by Robin Ventura.
Well, they could have sent out Cooper or
right
for a visit and made the second move a move. And now home plate umpire Mark Wegner wants to break it up. And there's Reed. And he appears to be ready now. And the call is made to the bullpen. Addison Reed will be the 6th pitcher of the night for the White Sox, coming in here in the 8th. has 8 straight saves until last Sunday. And Reed is coming on here to try to get an inning plus save, and will face Aramis Ramirez.
And another rookie coming out of that White Sox bullpen. One of 5 rookies on their pitching staff. This guy has a huge arm. Throws hard, big movement.
Aoki at second and Ryan Braun at first. 7-6 the White Sox lead here in the top of the 8th inning. Reed throwing hard, missing high, ball 1. Only 2 Brewers have more than a hit tonight. Aoki with 3 and Ramirez here with a pair. So there you see he has been the bellwether for save situations for the White Sox this season. 2 out, 2 on. Fastball, and Ramirez swings through it.
I guess the question is answered whether he's going to be able to get loose in time. That last one was 95. He was getting it up there better than that last night. Pitched a scoreless 9th last night.
He's never had more than a 3-out save among his 8 in his career. So this would break new ground if he can do it. There goes the runner. Pitch high and a double steal, and the Brewers sending both Aoki and Braun now have 2 runners in scoring position on a daring double steal, and runners at second and third now in the count 2-0, 2-1.
Like most closers, they take a long time to get rid of the baseball, and that's why Pierzynski doesn't even bother. Big high leg kick, and it was stolen easily.
And the count now goes to 3-1 to Ramirez with Corey Hart on deck. Boy, no lead has been safe in this game, and there haven't been any real big leads, but they haven't been safe. Each team has found a way to come back.
Yep, fighting back, putting together some pretty good at bats.
3-1. Ball 4, and the bases will be loaded to Corey Hart. Tense moment here in Chicago. The White Sox leading 7-6, bringing in their closer to get a save for more than an inning, walking Ramirez after the double steal. And by the way, Aoki stealing 3 bases before the last one. First time a Brewer had stolen as many as 3 since September 18th in 04. Scott Podsednik stole 4, and now Aoki has 4. Sharply hit to shortstop, bobbled by Ramirez. They get the force to second, and that will do it as the White Sox fans and Robin Ventura exhale. Not to mention Addison Reed. 7-6 into the bottom of the 8th. By the 2012 Ford F-150, built for tough. And by the makers of One A Day Men's, the official multivitamin of MLB. Well, the plot thickens, and Tim Dillard comes into the game, making it 4 pitchers for the Brewers. And he'll be facing Alexi Ramirez. Side armor, misses inside for a ball.
Yeah, Dillard very effective against right-handers, not so much against lefties. Dillard appearing in game number 30 out of Ron Renneke's bullpen.
2 balls and no strikes. Last pitch Wednesday. Did not give up a run in an inning and a third against the Blue Jays. 10th year in the Brewers organization. And the first in which he has not pitched, at least part-time, in the minor leagues. There's a line drive, base hit to left field. So Alexi Ramirez with his second hit of the game starts it off in the White Sox 8th.
Well, we talked early in the game about the keys to a successful night for the White Sox. It's all about setting the table, and the bottom of the order has certainly been able to do that tonight. They have come up big.
And Orlando Hudson, who came up big his last time up with a run-scoring double back in the 6th inning. And the pitch down low, ball 1. And looking to bunt with Aramis Ramirez charging. Orlando Hudson, and we showed a very entertaining sounds of the game earlier when he was talking about how he would play third base. Had a good time during pregame warm-ups. Trying to keep Ramirez close. White Sox leading by a run, trying to get an insurance run here. And pitch taken for a ball. It's 2-0 to Orlando Hudson.
Well, you would think this would be a good spot for Ramirez to try and steal a base. He's got 9 of them. 9 of 11.
You've got the lead, right?
Right. White Sox elect to drop down a bunt.
And the top of the order on deck. Ramirez doesn't go. Deadens the bunt. Beautiful bunt. The throw to first base in time. And a good play by Aramis Ramirez. Deadened the bunt beautifully, did Orlando Hudson. But let's hear what it was like with hijinks with Adam Dunn before the game.
Hey, man, why you hit me with that ball, man? Ever touch me. I don't care how close a friend me you are. Don't ever touch me, okay? hey, man. Why hit me with your glove, dog?
Adam Dunn looking a little bit scary there, wasn't he?
I was going to say.
He was like zoned in right there. I wouldn't mess with him.
Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach, coming to the mound. And Alexi Ramirez going over to talk to Joe McEwing, the third base coach. And we're going to have a pinch hitter coming up. Alejandro De Aza is going to bat for Brent Lillibridge here.
Yeah, who is the usually the center fielder for the White Sox, and he has been red hot lately. Robin Ventura taking an opportunity at the top of the order to drive in an insurance run. And De Aza has been hot.
And he can run as well. 5th season with some big league action. 3rd with the White Sox. Trying to get an insurance run across here. Ramirez is at second with 1 out. And ball 1 outside to the pinch hitter De Aza. Tim Dillard, the fourth pitcher of the night for the Brewers. That's on the corner. 1-1. Number Addison Reed came in, walked Ramirez, and got Corey Hart on a fielder's choice to end things. Last inning, there's a pitch low, 2-1. Only the third regular season meeting between the Brewers and the White Sox since 2001. Now, of course, interleague play. That's down low. And falling behind is Dillard. 3-1 to Diaz with Gordon Beckham on deck.
Dillard really trying to concentrate on getting that sinker down in the strike zone, get a ground ball. Missing out of the zone down.
3-1. Now the count full.
He went with a slider and a 3-1 count and had Diaz way out in front.
Ramirez leading off with the singles. Sacrificed to second and a fly ball hit to center field. Gomez is back and makes the catch on the warning track, tagging up easily, and going to third is Ramirez. And there are two down now and a runner at third. Gomez.
Well, he's been getting his running in tonight. He's gone back there a couple of times. That is a nice catch by Carlos Gomez.
All this in the first inning. And this is against Lillibridge. And now watch Aramis Ramirez against Beckham. And a good play at first by Corey Harton. And then Adam Dunn lines to the well-positioned Ricky Weeks.
There's some good defense in this game. You would never think you have defense like this in a game where you score 13 runs.
And 24 hits.
Right.
And there has been an error. And that allowed a run to score. That was on Viciedo, the left fielder, but he more than redeemed himself with 2 singles and a home run and 4 runs batted in and 4 trips. So but here's Beckham, who has doubled and singled his last 2 times up, trying to get the insurance run home from third against Dillard. Check swing, but it's in for the strike, and it's 1-1. Looking ahead to the 9th inning for the Brewers, it'll be Weeks, Maldonado, and Ransom, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. And there's a ball fair down the left field line. Beckham delivers, Ramirez scores, and the White Sox are up 8-6. Third straight hit for Beckham. And RBI number 32, a big run for the White Sox.
And Robin Ventura has to be pleased about the way his offense has been tonight. And when you consider Dunn and Konerko have not driven in a run tonight, it's been the other guys. Beckham able to pull the hands in and rip this one down the line, giving the young closer an insurance run.
So Beckham retired the first 2 times up, double, single, single, and a big RBI here. And Adam Dunn looks at strike 1. Dunn has struck out 3 consecutive times after lining out to Ricky Weeks his first time. Foul ball. 0-2. Well, how about having a picture with Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle?
I don't care what it is.
Whatever.
Yeah, you get in a graphic like that, you're somebody. Babe and Mickey.
I don't care if it's likes to eat scrambled eggs.
Right,
for
it doesn't
breakfast.
matter. Put me in a picture with those guys.
No balls, 2 strikes. Check swing on the breaking ball. White Sox leading 8-6. They were down 6-4. Got 2 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, 1 here in the 8th inning. So they have delivered in the late innings. 2-2. White Sox tonight 6 for 16 with runners in scoring position. And now the count 3-2 with 2 outs, so Beckham will be off. Tim Dillard, 28-year-old Mississippian. And if Dunn gets aboard, Paul Konerko will get another opportunity. Beckham is off, ball 4 outside, and Dunn draws a walk and is aboard for the first time tonight. And Paul Konerko, since joining the White Sox in '99, he's been Mr. Consistency.
Yeah, he has been something. I mean, maybe the most underrated player in maybe all of baseball. You don't hear a whole lot about Konerko, but he continues year after year to put up the numbers. 30-plus home runs, 100 RBIs or close to it. And he has been a rock in that lineup for the White Sox for many years.
And a close second in all-star balloting to Prince Fielder of the Tigers in the battle for first base. First pitch is a strike to Konerko, who is 1 for 3 with a single, has walked and scored a run. All-star rosters, by the way, will be unveiled on July the 1st. 2 on for the White Sox, and a fly ball hit deep to left field. Aoki is back, makes the catch. So Aoki, who tied a team record with 4 steals in a game, retires Konerko. White Sox get a big insurance run. Brewers come up in the ninth. It's 8-6. Who came in as a pinch hitter for Lillibridge. So he's at center field, and here is Addison Reed facing Ricky Weeks in the top of the 9th inning. Last chance for the Brewers, and Weeks takes a strike. He is 0 for 3 and was hit by a pitch and scored a run. So Addison Reed looking for his first save exceeding 3 outs. fouled out of play, and it's 0-2. Martin Maldonado will be next, and Cody Ransom are scheduled to hit. Reed trying to protect an impressive comeback by the White Sox, who are down by 2 in the 6th. One and two. Brian Bruni, who was just recalled, just in case for Reed falters.
Not often you have somebody backing up your closer
right
just as the inning starts.
Popped up, middle of the diamond. Konerko calling for it, now called off by Hudson. And he made the catch, and it looked like he bobbled it a little bit. A little close for comfort for Hudson. And now it's time for the Burger King smooth play of the game. Rios. A lot of heroes for the White Sox at the plate tonight. Rios driving in the go-ahead run in the 7th inning. Of course, Viciedo had 2 singles and a homer and 4 runs batted in, but that was the big strike for the White Sox. And there's 1 out and Maldonado up.
Yeah, no signs of any inconsistency with the offense tonight for the White Sox. They've done the little things. They've hit with runners in scoring position. They've been able to advance base runners.
And the first pitch, a strike to Maldonado, who delivered a run-scoring pinch single in the 6th inning and walked his last time up. George Gutierrez started behind the plate, catching Randy Wolf as he always does, and this pitch missing, 1-1. Brewers have a pinch hitter, Taylor Green, on the on-deck circle, would be batting for Ransom. Fly ball, center field. Piazza camps under it, makes the catch, and there are 2 down. And the Brewers are down to their last out. Taylor Green coming up to pinch hit for Cody Ransom. Green, who is up since May the 6th and has hit 2 home runs. Both have come as a pinch hitter. And here he is in that role. 2 out, 8-6. The White Sox lead. Addison Reed looking for the save here. He's converted 8 of 9 save opportunities this year.
Coming in here, throwing strikes in his 2nd inning of work. Still has big velocity.
0-1. In there for strike 2. Looking for his first save of more than 3 outs. So maybe a little unorthodox for Robin Ventura, having a backup pitcher in there, crowd on its feet. Reed looking to close it out. 1-2 now to Green.
Tried to pull the string on Taylor Green. Throwing a changeup, but he laid off.
Here's the 1-2. Staying alive as Green fouls it back. Taylor Green, minor league player of the year for the Brewers last season. Facing 23-year-old Addison Reed. 1-2, 2 out, nobody on base. That evens it, 2-2. Good at bat for Green.
Hanging right in there on that big fastball and also able to lay off the changeup out of the strike zone. You got a guy throwing 96, 95 miles an hour. The tendency is you start early and wave at those off-speed pitches. He hasn't done it yet.
Crowd on its feet, urging on Addison Reed to get that final out here in the ninth. And he's got it. Strike three. Green goes down. And Addison Reed retires the side in order. A 4-out save. His 9th of the year. And the White Sox defeat the Brewers 8-6 as the fireworks ensue here in Chicago. A great tradition here. And we'll return to Chicago to wrap things up right after these messages from your local Fox station.